What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Kitten Gaming Podcast, the podcast where we give you gaming news, reviews, and all-round good feeling stuff. We're probably covering some gaming moments from our experience as well. It's been a while since I've been on. I'm Fracknir, and I am hosting today. Joining me this evening are T-Mug Tom, as he's now known. Say hi.
I was wondering, I was actually confused because I thought Tony was hosting, so this was quite a switch for me.
Yeah. Ambush.
Ah! Sorry.
And we also... You just got beaten off there. You left me at a fucking...
I'm sorry.
For fuck's sake, I'll be ruining my intro. Son of a bitch.
It's how I do.
We also have the always epically named Hey Hey Swanboat. Say hello.
Hello.
And as well joining us, the person I've stolen the podcast from, Turbo Tony 19. Hello.
And I will take it back from you one of these days, my ancient rival.
You will do.
Well, this feels weird, right?
Yeah.
I've never been introduced in any podcast, and I've done like almost 100 episodes of podcasts. Like no matter what I've done, I've never been introduced, so that's kind of weird.
And you don't have any notes or anything to worry about.
Yeah, it's like completely bonkers to me. I have absolutely no clue. But hey, everyone, yeah,
Woohoo!
yeah,
On the other side of the fence this time.
yeah.
Cool. So we're starting a little bit late, so we're gonna slam right into it. Does anyone have any news, gaming news, they want to pass on this evening?
Kingdom Hearts 2.5 is out tomorrow.
Oh, and you know what? I checked up on it as well, and it kills me it's not on Xbox. Jesus Christ, man! I really want to go out and buy a PS3.
Hearts is and always has been a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, he's saying it kills him. Because he's an Xbox man.
Yeah. Well, no, my reason thinking of it was that, Final Fantasy was a PlayStation exclusive, and look at that now. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Final Fantasy just sold its soul.
Yeah.
Squeenix is whoring themselves out a little bit, aren't they?
It's just
Squeenix, yeah.
Opening their legs and letting that green X in. That sounds disgusting, doesn't it?
That sounds bad.
This is what happens when I'm not hosting, guys. I get dirty and disgusting.
You don't have to be professional and serious anymore. You can let the real Tony out.
You make me sound like some deviant or something.
Back in your cage, Tony!
Well, considering how you've been acting in my Game of Thrones at the moment, it wouldn't surprise me.
I do like the sex. Let's just say that.
Like the sex.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this, Hayley? Did you see this? Right.
No.
I'm quite into the mobile gamer Game of Thrones Ascent. And
Okay.
Tony's one of my friends on it, and every so often you'll get like a quest to like help out one of your friends. And Tony's one that popped up yesterday was his mistress was going to blackmail him, so he enlisted my help. I succeeded in convincing his mistress not to blackmail him, and then he tried to hit on my sworn sword that I sent to do the mission. I was like, you son of a bitch, Tony!
Oh, well, I'm committed.
Yeah, committed to adultery. Give it 100%.
I am the quagmire of Game of Thrones. There is no one that gets past me.
Giggity is.
Giggity.
Game of Thrones.
Giggity of Thrones, there we go.
Yeah.
Giggity of Thrones.
Yeah.
Right. Any other news at all?
Well, Dragon Age Inquisition was released.
It was.
Let's open up that can of worms.
Yeah. Because there's some good points and there's some bad points with that one as well, isn't there?
Oh, there
That
is.
game is sublime. It is excellent, but a bit buggy. But
Yeah.
It is a bit buggy. I've been playing it on the 360. It's not as gorgeous as I've seen it on YouTube, but of course everyone's playing it on current gen consoles.
But people teleport and glide, and they also glitch massively. And the animation when people are making out, they kind of like literally become one.
When
To
two
be fair,
become
though,
which is the ultimate romance.
trying to bang
of course.
Joseline, and she's got sleeves the size of count.
Yeah, I was talking about her hands literally going inside. You weren't looking, but I was watching the makeout scene. Tom he's a bit squeamish, so he had to turn away.
What was a squeamish? It's two essential Ken dolls being banged together.
Do you know what's weird though, Tom, right? Through playing it, I thought you would romance Josephine. Honestly.
How did you figure that, pray tell?
I don't know. I just thought you would. I honestly thought, okay, this is the one that Tom's going to romance. I don't know why. Maybe obviously I know you quite well. That's
If I could, I would have romanced Sarah.
I'm romancing Sarah.
Yeah, but you're a woman. I'm not.
I'm a cute little dwarf.
There's no such thing as a cute little dwarf.
Have you seen
Well,
that?
mine is.
Have you seen that YouTube video of Iron Bull and the Dwarf Inquisition?
Oh God, no.
Literally picks her up by the arms and just holds her to eye level, and it's just
Are
like,
you ready for this?
this is your last chance to back out.
You're getting the dick. Here we go.
I was wondering if I was ever going to do a male-on-male romance. I've got a few options. Iron Bull, much as he's an epic chap, I would leave him to last. The simple reason, I don't think I would ever walk again.
No.
Once you go Kunari, you never go back.
Oh, have you seen
Once you go
there's-
Kunari, you need a wheelchair.
oh,
Yeah.
There's a clip floating around. It was actually on Eurogamer.net. It was like a human and like the male bull dude, the Canary dude, like about to have like gay sexy times, and like one guy walks in and goes, "Oh God!" and then another guy, and then one of the good. Like someone
Yes,
else walks
I
in and
saw
goes,
that one,
"Oh my
but
God!" Like,
It's like, oh dear God in heaven.
yeah, it's like all three of them walk in and like
Suddenly,
Bull's just like, "Oh, for fuck's
marches
sake."
in, bold as bra. Suddenly it's just like, oh, so this is happening.
I just loved Bull's reaction when like the third person came in. He's just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" It's like, I think we blinded Cullen. Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, but yeah, it like I'm quite impressed with what I've seen so far. Yes, it is a bit buggy, but then I'm
Still loving the dialogue, still loving the story. It's
Yeah.
BioWare. It's what you expect, but you still love
It
it.
is just droves better than DA2, and that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Just at least a little bit of improvement, but
Oh.
it's way more.
I tell you what, it actually really threw me when I started playing because I was so used to the linear system. Suddenly they dumped me in the middle, and I'm just like,
He ended up halfway up a mountain before he realised he was going in the wrong direction.
it's just like I don't even know where I'm going anymore. We're going this way.
Oh, tell them what I did as well.
Yeah, you made me.
I made Tom on the facial thing. I'm really good at that.
cool.
And I basically made his face.
We actually did that on. I actually played Origins last week, and she did the same thing there. It was really weird.
And
Yeah.
Tom keeps getting freaked out. And it went into a whole uncanny valley thing.
Because I've tried to make myself before. I never make it look as good as she does it.
yeah,
It's because I look at your face more than you look at your own.
yeah,
Yes.
that's the point.
That's what I say to my wife though. I'm like, she's like, "Oh, how do you want your hair cut?" I'm like, "I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't look at it. You choose. You have to look at me all day.
That's a
you
really
choose what you
good
want."
I'm actually going to get you to do that for me whenever people are going to cut my hair.
But I do
Yeah.
that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. What? I don't know. Do you? Short at the back. No,
Just-
forget
I'll
it. Forget
tell
it.
you-
We're
I'll
going to
tell
get it.
you
We're
your
going off on a.
haircut.
One other thing.
We're going off on a bit of a weird tangent here. Let's
My
focus
human
back
mage.
in. Focus.
Yeah.
Focus.
Okay, bring it back in.
It's-
Made Daenerys Targaryen, my human mage.
Oh yeah, someone
nice.
made it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually really, really eerie.
Mm.
And then Tom says, "Oh, I don't know who I'm going to romance." I says, "Well, you're going to romance Iron Bull." He says, "Why?" I said, "Because he's the closest one to Khal Drogo."
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favourite characters from the TV series.
Oh, he was awesome.
God damn it, Martin.
Jason Momoa being an absolute fucking badass there. He's so huge. He's huge. He's got an awesome voice. He speaks Dothraki like it's an actual language. Like he's been.
You know what his
speaking it
audition
whole
video
life.
was, don't you? He did a haka.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
You can see it on YouTube.
Oh shit. Yeah, they probably hired him because he did that, and they just went, "Okay, you can have the
Yeah,
job."
all right. Okay, yeah.
Oh, your second audition tape. How well can you have sex?
Yeah.
Just different angles of him banging like a doll or something like that.
Oh, have you seen Marjorie on the Connor show? She's commenting on the next series because now she's up to date with the books and the TV series is up to date.
Yeah.
She's now, as in her own words, described the fraternity of what the fuck happens to me now.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I saw, was it the actress that plays her in the new Hunger Games movie?
Oh yeah.
But like, she's good in it and she's all right. But man, the performance by Jennifer Lawrence, that's probably one of the best female performances I have seen in years. Honestly, she is good in that.
Got
about
to love Jennifer Lawrence.
But what about Peter?
Oh God.
Oh, he was good.
Oh, he was good. He was
was
phenomenal.
amazing.
He
Yeah, he
blew
was
me
very-
away when I watched it. Is he?
You know what? What I liked about his performance in that. I know this is not about games. We'll get
Yeah.
to games. Right?
We'll get there.
Tyler.
It's Hunger
But, like-
Games. It links.
Oh,
But like his
no.
performance, you don't expect his performance to be that good, and then when he does a great performance, it hits you. Like you expect it now from Jennifer Lawrence, but you know.
I don't think he was even that dramatic in the books.
No, it wasn't. It really shocked me. And you really got to give it to actors when they really starve themselves, and you look at them
It was
on screen and you're like,
emancipated, yeah.
fucking hell.
Yeah, you look right.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, anything else at all?
I've got one other bit of news. Apparently, Assassin's Creed Unity has cancelled their season pass.
Yeah, that
did it?
surprised me.
Yeah, they did.
Well, because the game's a mess.
And they've actually completely squandered the faith of their
Yeah.
fan base.
I will feel that
I'm pretty sure no one would do it.
having played it, they have actually included some stuff in it which I like. It's like you don't just get like by the numbers assassinations anymore. You just go to the area of your assassination, and then there's multiple ways you can go about doing it. You can either go in sword swinging and just slaughter everyone. You can go in the sneaky way and just like get in and out, kill your target without anyone seeing you, like a proper ninja. So that I quite like. But there's too much. There's too much to do, especially when you get to Paris and you've done the first few opening missions. Everything's been unlocked because it's got the companion app and it's got the initiates bit, and there's just so much shit in it. If you zoom out on the map far enough, there's so many icons you can't see the graphic for the actual city. It's just covered in shit, and it's just like it looks too much. And yeah, games like Skyrim and Fallout and Black Flag might have either the same or a little bit more stuff to do. Because the map is that much larger, it's a lot more spread out, so it doesn't look as much. Whereas in Assassin's Creed Unity, it's just so densely packed in, you can't tell where you're fucking going half the time.
Yeah,
It's fucking mental.
Sometimes it's not about the stuff that you're doing, but the way that you do it. And I think that's what I haven't actually played Black Flag, but everyone praises it.
Oh,
but the way that you go about getting to each of your tasks is like you're a fucking ship. You know what I mean? It's pretty damn cool.
You're on a fucking
It
pirate
sounds
ship.
It sounds like they backtracked a little bit, because that was a massive problem with the
Revelations, wasn't it?
of it being just
Clustered.
cluttered. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that with Revelations, but even Revelations I enjoyed. Because they had like a character to kind of carry it off. You wanted to play more because Ezio was a fun character. And while this new guy in Assassin's Creed Unity, he's nowhere near as bad as Connor, I still kind of find him hard to relate to. Like I'm not buying into him as much as I did like Altair, Ezio, and Kenway.
Take it easy on the guy. Sometimes he's missing a head, okay? So that's quite hard for him.
Although
to be
I haven't encountered any glitches in Unity, other than the ones I've created myself by like being a tit and just going where I'm not supposed to, and like, get myself stuck. But that stuff I've did on my own. But from what I've read anyway, the Xbox launch was actually a lot smoother than the PS and the PC launch.
The PC was horrendous. I know Total Biscuit covered it, and he's like, the game was a complete mess.
Yeah, and you expect more from Assassin's Creed, don't you? Really, it's
Ubisoft, isn't it? Though they're one of the big companies. They should get it right.
Yeah, I mean they got it right with Black Flag. Black Flag pretty much had a flawless release. There was nothing wrong with it. At least I didn't hear of anything wrong with it.
Yeah,
and you
not to this level anyway.
No, and oh yeah. Also as well, really fucking lazy story writing on the real world part.
Oh yeah? What?
It is non-existent. You don't get to do anything outside the Animus. In fact, it's it's not even clear if you're in the Animus. It's like somewhat it's like the Animus has been brought into like a household environment, and the assassins have jacked it, and now they're using you through your household Animus to go and do their business.
How the hell do you even get a household Animus?
I don't know. Maybe Abstergo perfected the technology and it's now like a household thing, like an Oculus Rift type environment.
Black Friday sales, man. They drive people crazy. They'll buy anything.
But yeah, it's fucking lazy. But yet in Black Flag, they had this whole thing outside the Animus with activities you could do, characters outside the Animus. You could get out and walk around if you wanted to. They had a cool little hacking system, which I really fucking enjoyed doing. And I got a little bit obsessive with getting the last one. It took me fucking ages.
That fucking last one.
I was like, I'll fucking do you. I will fucking do you. But it like that was good. That was a good way to do it, and I enjoyed that because there was no pressure to do it, but it was still fun to go and do. Now there's nothing, it's just the Animus. And it's like, well, what if I don't want to do that? What if I want to get out and walk around? I need to stretch my fucking legs. But yeah, that's just like really lazy. You get like cutscenes with the present day assassins in them. and like a little bit of like decoding bullshit, but that's about it. And it just feels really half-hearted and lazy to me. And
But they released 2 games, didn't they? Did Rogue and Unity at the same time.
yeah, and Rogue looks
But
fucking
you have
better than
different
Unity.
aspects of
Yeah.
Microsoft working on each games.
Yeah.
It's not
So
an excuse.
I mean, I was looking forward to getting Unity. I saw a trailer for Rogue and went, oh, fuck Unity. I want to play Rogue now. That looks even better. That looks
so
awesome.
that's the story you can really get into. Rogue Assassin, who's now working for the Templars.
Yeah.
That I would love to see, because we've never seen the other side, have we?
No,
Apart from a little bit in 3.
My brother bought Rogue, and he was playing that a long time because he bought Rogue and Unity at the same time.
yeah.
But he's playing Rogue for a lot longer before he started playing Unity.
Well, I phased out of Unity completely. I mean, when I got my Xbox One, I got the Master Chief Collection, Assassin's Creed Unity, and Black Flag in a bundle with the Xbox, and I traded in a load of my games and got Sunset Overdrive. I've played more Sunset Overdrive and Black Flag, and a damn sight more on the Master Chief Collection than I have of Unity, because it's just, for me, it's just boring. It's just I really can't be fucked to do any of these missions. It's just too much. I can't be bothered with it. I mean, the only thing I've done was I maxed out my cafe type thing that you get, which earns you money.
Assassin's Creed Cafe.
Yeah, and like I was like, oh, I've done
Moved on
that.
to bakery chef or bakery story or something like that.
Oh, come on, it's France. What else are you going to have in there
Well,
besides a
you
cafe?
open like a sort of like cafe type environment as a front to like earn more money.
Of course, it's a cafe. What else would it be?
And
We don't stereotype here, do we?
no,
Ubisoft is a French company.
yeah. Well, there are some fun missions tied into that, but it only took me about half an hour to do all of these missions, some of which were supposed to be impossible for my level.
Yeah.
And I just smashed all the way through them. I was like, wow, now it's like at max, and I've got enough money to buy all the upgrades.
You unlocked a
Now
new
fucking
set
what?
of cocoa beans. Well done.
Cocoa beans, yay! But yeah,
Now
it
we
was just
shall add
boring.
milk to the coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, in the end, I just go, fuck it, I'm gonna go play some Sunset Overdrive because it's just fucking insane, and I love every second of it. It's like, well, you saw the post I put on the Facebook group of
Yeah.
it winning the award for most insane boss fight ever, and it's so much fun.
Fun!
It's just so amazingly epic. But anyway, I think that's it for the news. Do we have any gaming moments we want to share?
Well, we talked about Dragon Age, and that's pretty much what I've been playing all the time. So
Yeah.
I made Matt,
I'm
who's
currently
another
wearing. Haley made me so happy. It's basically suit of armor, but on top I'm wearing like a drake skin coat, and it's that beautiful deep red. And Haley just said, "You're basically channeling Guardians of the Galaxy now, aren't you?" And I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
so happy. I mean, you've seen the picture. Admittedly, it's crap quality, but that's the coat I'm constantly wearing. It doesn't matter what armor I get now. That's all I'm wearing.
I got up to day 63 on Don't Starve yesterday,
Oh,
and then
cool.
it died.
Oh,
I'm not
frustrating.
happy. I'm giving it up for a little while again.
Now you feel like Tropico.
So I'm being a dictator again instead.
Yay. Well,
Although she did reveal to me a wonderful little tidbit about Kim Jong-un about his
Yeah.
expenses.
Apparently, because in Tropico 5 they have during the loading screens they have little facts about different dictators or presidents,
Or whatever.
depending what country you're from.
yeah.
Anyway, so different dictators throughout the history, and they do modern ones as well. And apparently, allegedly, Kim Jong-un,
Kim Jong-un.
yeah, number 2, he spends £350,000 a year on brandy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, if I could spend £350,000 a year on brandy, I would.
Yeah.
Don't forget that their country is in debt and in trouble.
Yeah, but he's
Maybe
not,
trying to
his
drink his
country is.
troubles away. That's what he's
Yeah, sounds like.
Oh man, that's insane. Yeah. Well, personally, my gaming moment has just been playing the Master Chief Collection and the ups and downs I've had with the Master Chief Collection. Like, I don't remember the original Halo being as hard as I found it, and actually for a port from like a really old game, what Halo's something stupid like 10, 20 years old now. It's fucking
2004, so something like that.
yeah, it's
Yes.
it's over a decade old, and for a game that's a decade old being ported up 2 gens of 1, 2, 3 gens of consoles from the original Xbox we're going from, so Xbox 360, now the Xbox One, it looks pretty fucking good.
Mm.
It looks really, really nice. Halo 2 looks fucking astonishing. It pisses and shits on the face of Unity. And COD. It looks better than anything I've seen on a next-gen console so far, including Dragon Age Inquisition.
That's surprising.
It looks a lot better. Everything is so well done. Even the gameplay has been brought up to next-gen standard. It's not just, everything's been given like a shiny coat of paint. They've actually put so much effort into making the Halo 2 look next-gen. All the cutscenes, every single cutscene has been redone to look next-gen. And it looks fucking fantastic. It looks so much better. I was into the game for the very first second. I couldn't stop playing it. I originally switched it on really late at night. So I just completed the first Halo and I thought, I'll start up Halo 2 just so I've got somewhere to springboard from tomorrow. I didn't stop playing it until 4 in the morning. Because I was just I was enamored for all the cutscenes. I didn't beat any of the par times on any level except one because I spent most of my time observing the environment. Especially there's one bit where you're escorting Sergeant Johnson, who I'll come to in a minute. You're escorting Sergeant Johnson in a Scarab, you're in a Banshee, you fly out of this canyon, and in most games you can tell kind of where the backdrop starts, where the game level ends and just the backdrop is. So
Yeah.
where the world cap is. You can't see it in Halo 2. You it looks like you could just fly all the way across around the ring. Just go.
Did you?
Yeah, I tried. I died. You do hit a wall, but you don't see it coming like you do in most games.
So is that worse or better?
It's better. It's better because
It at least gives you the illusion that the level goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
and that's kind of the point. But it looks so good, and I'm going to use Sergeant Johnson here as an example of why Halo 2 is amazing, and Halo 3 on the Master Chief Collection is an apocalyptic fail and a big disappointment.
Oh,
Halo
okay.
3 doesn't look any different than it did on the Xbox 360.
Oh, really?
It looks absolutely no different. I can't see any discernible difference. All of the cutscenes look the same. Nothing's been made better or made HD. All the gameplay looks the same. All the character models look the same. Whereas in Halo 2, every single character model, every single detail was redone. The grunts look different, the hunters look different, the elites look different, the fucking brutes look pretty badass now. Like Master Chief looks different, the Arbiter looks like a complete boss, even when he's stripped of all his armor, and you go, so that's what they look like. They look really weird. They look like they're like skinny reptilian things. It's wow, they look really weak outside of their armor. And the brutes are like these big, hairy, what Chewbacca would look like if you put him on steroid kind of motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, who can do a good Chewbacca thing? I can't. I think everyone can do what you said for me, man.
I can't.
Go on, try it.
You
Try
suck,
it.
Tony.
Punch it, Chewie. No.
That punch it, Chewie. My penis.
So, Chris, do you think that maybe they focused all their attention on Halo 1 and 2 and thought, Halo 3 is fine?
Well, no, because even Halo 4 looks better. I've actually played a little bit of Halo 4 as well, because I wanted to see if they'd actually bumped that up or whether they just kept it the same. Even that looks better. It's almost like they completely forgot Halo 3 was in there.
What?
But
They thought it was just it was modern enough that they can put it in there without any upgrades, but now it doesn't stand up to the first two.
No,
But would you say that the first two are at the same level as the third one, graphically speaking, or would you say it's better or still not as good?
What, the first one?
First two, yeah, because you said they've been redone. Would you say that they are better or to the same standard as the third one?
Better. Even Halo 1 looks better than Halo 3. It's
Okay.
disgusting. It really disappointed me actually when I first booted it up. I was like, I'm getting ready for some more HD next gen goodness. Why does everything look the same? Why does Sergeant Johnson look like he's got a painted mustache? Why can I not count his pores like I could in the last game? Seriously, Sergeant Johnson, I'm going to use him as the example of how good Halo 2 is compared to Halo 3. So I'm not going to use Master Chief or the Arbiter because they can pretty much look the same with a new coat of paint and a shinier paint job and some baby oil. But
Yeah.
Sergeant Johnson in Halo 2, he looks like you could reach out to the screen and poke him. You could count his fucking paws if you took a screenshot of the fucker. He looks so fucking real, it's insane. As well as all the other human characters, they look the realest I've ever seen a human character in a game, ever. In any game.
Jeez.
They look so fucking good. I might even put I put some pictures up. You can't really see it very well because my phone doesn't take very good pictures of my TV screen, but I might post some screenshots on the page of just how good these fuckers look. And yet to go from someone where you can count the hairs in his fucking big mustache that he's got, or count the burning fibers in his cigar, to someone who looks like a plastic action figure is like a massive letdown. He does. He
I
looks.
can imagine so.
And I'm like, ugh. So at the moment, I'm just slugging my way through Halo 3. I want to get it out of the way so I can get onto Halo 4 because that's what I really want to play. Because Master Chief, and I'm really looking forward to Halo 5 because the first fucking scene in Halo 2 is a teaser, and it's got Agent Locke and it's got the Arbiter and it's got them talking about what happened to Master Chief, which I totally called the new storyline when I reviewed Halo 4. When I said that Master Chief is going to go AWOL to go and find a way to bring back Cortana, he gets referred to as going AWOL by Agent Locke. Win.
Your crystal ball
Okay.
has come true.
My crystal ball of awesomeness. But yeah, so is that all the gaming moments and the news done with?
Yeah,
think so.
yeah.
Cool. Right, let's get on to our first game. Who's going to go first? Tom, go first.
I was going to give you a drum roll there. Just do that again. Ready?
Okay. Tom, go first.
Yay! Drum roll. So, I am covering This War of Mine. A lovely little purchase I've got.
You have a war?
You tyrant, Tom! You tyrant!
He just completely broke his flow there. That was hilarious.
As you can see right now, I'm just giving Haley this look.
Completely threw
Okay,
him
were you
off
guys
kilter.
not thinking of saying it?
I was a little bit, I have to
Someone
admit.
had to say it! Carry on, Tom, sorry. Do continue, please. Proceed, my darling.
It's my war now.
What's yours is mine.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, it came out November 14th this year. This War of Mine is a dark survival game where the player controls a team of civilians. These are survivors, mind you. They're not soldiers. These are civilians that are surviving in a besieged, war-torn city, where the main goal, of course, is to survive the war with the tools and materials that you can get the characters together. Sorry? That makes sense to make sense. Can you link this, Tom?
Can you speak?
The main goal is survive with the tools and materials you can gather using your survivors. There we go. The characters you control, they're not ready for war. They're just people. I mean, you get reporters, you get this lovely old dear who used to look after the kids in the neighborhood, and that's it. I mean, these people have no wartime experience whatsoever. They might run fast. Someone could be working with the rebels who left the rebels. People could be really strong but really slow. I don't know. They're just people. That's the only way I could describe them.
Chill.
They thought their Call of Duty experience would help them, but it didn't.
So during the daytime, snipers will prevent you from leaving your home. You set up your home, for want of a better word, in this decrepit building where you get to upgrade and build items. I mean, when you start off, there's nothing, not a thing, apart from a chair and a fridge.
That's all a man needs sometimes.
Yeah.
Not when you've got 3 people though, and you basically go through your house clearing up as much as you can just to get some basic materials to hobble together a bed,
So
a
two
cooking
people.
stove.
So 2 people search, and
3
one person sits on the chair.
You have to have allocated chair time, because otherwise there's mayhem.
And
Yeah.
but no one can move during the daytime, and during at night you can send out one person to go outside and scavenge precious materials, food.
Can I ask,
Can you ask?
what's the danger?
What's the?
Why is it a post-apocalyptic?
It's not. Well, I wouldn't describe it as post-apocalyptic. It's just a war zone.
Oh, okay.
It's just a war zone. I mean, this game was actually inspired by a real-life event, the siege of. Oh God, how the hell do you say this name?
Let me try. Sarajevo.
Sarajevo, which is in Bosnia. The War of Bosnia.
Is it Sarajevo? That's how it's called, isn't it?
I've got no idea.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's, yeah.
All right.
And this war actually took place from the 5th of April 1992 to the 29th of February 1996. The math buffs out there, I'm sure you can elaborate. That's 3 years, 10 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days of war. That city was besieged. Constant warfare in that one city.
Yeah.
And that war was yours, Tom, you son of a bitch.
I was not part of the war, I was surviving the war. I was not involved. I didn't know what the rebels were doing, I didn't know what the army was doing. I was just content to survive and mind my own business.
Yeah.
You weren't there, man.
You weren't there, dude.
You don't understand.
You don't know what I had to do to survive. And okay, just to give you an idea, here's
Of what you had to survive?
no what people had to survive, because I've seen some reviews on Steam. Here's actually some. This isn't even a review. This is an account. This is the one that actually caught my attention, and I had to play it for myself. Enter the building with other people. The building's description had said danger, which meant hostiles, bandits. I grabbed my knife and was ready for these bandits. I saw one bandit, and after breaking in through a window, she ran, calling for backup. One guy showed up with a shotgun and chased me off, but I waited. He searched and couldn't find me, and then I got the drop on him. We fought, he couldn't shoot, and 3 steps later he fell. I grabbed the shotgun and went inside. My friends needed food, and these bandits were killers. They deserved what they got. I grabbed food, supplies, and another bandit showed up. I fired at them with a shotgun and they dropped with a gurgling scream. One bandit ran after me. Surely they had a knife. No, she ran right past me to the man's corpse. She was crying. She called me a murderer. I fired again and she dropped. There was silence then, and I had to hurry up and grab the rest of the supplies before more bandits showed up. I opened the closet and snagged the food, but the inventory of the closet said private. Someone owned this wardrobe. I looked outside towards another building, and between the two, a garden someone built. One guy had mentioned they were running low on meds. No, it couldn't be. It just couldn't be. This wasn't an abandoned house being put clean. This was another group's safe house. These people were survivors, and I was the bandits.
Whoops.
Dun, dun, dun. That's banditception right there.
Yeah.
So here's another one. Down to my last survivor, who was depressed, starving, and severely ill. I had no choice but to raid people. I was caught, so I had to kill 2 people. I got everything I needed and more. I went back to my shelter, but he couldn't handle killing anyone. He was racked with guilt, and he was broken and alone. He couldn't even eat the things he stole. Boris hung himself that night.
Oh.
That's harsh.
God damn.
It's a harsh game. It's a dark survival game where I'm going to give you an account. I started off fairly well enough. I had a good solid team of 3 people. I had a runner, a scavenger, and a cook. Things were perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, on my best days, I had like 2 days worth of food. Come winter, it started to get hectic. I had enough, and I was getting through well enough. Although towards the end, this was about the 30-day mark, I was really starting to struggle to just ensure I had food. I actually remember I traded 2 pistols and 2 shotguns for 2 cans of food.
I asked him at this point, why don't you just shoot the person with the food and take the food? Then you'd still have your guns.
But that's the question. Do you want to do that, or do you want to kill innocent people just to keep yourself going?
Yeah.
It's that point.
The Haley's like, fuck morals, just shoot him. Food, man.
Look, I played Don't Starve too long.
Yeah. Warped you as a human being.
Haley's no longer a human being, clearly. No, because lots of things happen. I mean, I actually had someone rush up to my house in the middle of the day, banging on the door, saying, come out, come out. I go to the door and he said, my brother's been injured. He got shot by a sniper. Can you help us? And I'm just sitting there thinking, fuck, what do I do? And then he's like, fine, go, just go. And he made it back all right. And the people, the next day, everyone was happy. They were content because we were helping our neighbours. And actually, a few days later, that same neighbour came back with a bag of food, saying, we never welcomed you to the neighbourhood. Here's a bag full of vegetables.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, a bag of vegetables goes a long bloody way in this game.
How long can it go on for, the game? Like, does it just keep going and going and going? It's basically.
It doesn't come with endless mode, although. Shut up, Haley. 42 days or 44 days.
Really? Why?
Really?
Because that's how long the siege goes on for.
Oh, right.
I mean, when you start off, you're waiting for the UN to send peace forces there, peacekeeping forces, and you could build a radio, and I just literally tuned the radio every day, going backwards and forwards, and lots of things were happening. I mean, I kept an eye on the weather channel, of course, because as soon as it gets cold, then things can go down very quickly.
Can't be that cold in Bosnia though. It's Africa, isn't it?
It's Eastern Europe, dear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pretty sure Bosnia's not in that.
Geography fail.
All the geography students hate you
That was
now.
never my strong subject, okay?
So it's brutal. It's not brutal. It's unforgiving. Although
Yeah.
there were instances where I got a really good warm fuzzy because I went to a part of town that was nicknamed Sniper's Alley. You can imagine how well that went down. I sent my fastest guy around there, and it was literally just stood by the wall, run to the broken down ambulance, wait for the ping to go off, and then run to the statue.
Serpentine.
So, yeah, literally screaming out, "Serpentine, Pablo! Serpentine!" And then I got to the statue, and there was this guy just crouched down saying, "Oh, God, can you help me, please? There was actually a sewer underneath, but the door was locked from our side." And he said he had to go home to help out his boy. And I was just like, fair enough, whatever. Might as well while I'm here. Ran to the other end of the street, ducking behind cars, up broken bits of masonry while bullets were pinging off every which way.
Jeez.
I go down to the underground, I let him through, and he's just saying, he's just walking through, thanking me profusely. And then we get to his room. His boy is like 6 months old.
All right.
And I just suddenly thought, oh God, what if I didn't help him? Oh, Christ.
Is it like a mindfuck
Christ.
game that is like constantly like basically telling you to trust and not to trust at the same time? Like,
Yeah.
That's the point. I mean, do you get any children in your group that you...
No, you
build
don't.
up?
I don't think you get children in your group, although that would be a fantastic thing to update it with. But I actually had 2 children run to my door, bang on the door, saying, "Have I got any meds?" Fortunately, I had about 4 meds, and they were asking for 2, so I just went, "You know what? Fine, yeah, your kids, whatever." And then they kept, and because their dad is dead and their mother was so ill, and you're just thinking to yourself, what are you going to do?
yeah.
But then,
It's a shame you didn't have an option to like, okay, make yourself useful here instead rather than going out there and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sort of thing. I mean, I've had people come up to my door saying, "We've got something going on that we might need your help with. Are you interested?" And I went, "Yeah, all right." I mean, it does come up with some morally tricky ones. I mean, first one, we need to help building a shelter. Do you want to help us? Sure, I'm happy. Next thing, someone else comes by and says, "There's a rich family down the road who's hoarding supplies. Do you want to break in and steal some of their stuff?" They're rich. I mean, we need food and they're not sharing. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
It's just you do justify a lot to yourself. And I mean, and then someone else came by and said, "There's a hospital convoy going past. That we could get something really sweet. Are you in?" I'm just thinking, I really, really could use some bandages right now. And so he went through, but Pablo, bless his heart, he felt shitty for it afterwards because he stole supplies from people who needed it. This was a hospital convoy.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that like you have to manage like the psyches of your survivors.
You do, yeah. I mean, you can actually build yourself a guitar to help. You can build lots of little things: a greenhouse, traps to get rodents or whatever. Yeah. So, and you can upgrade each and every item. I mean, a workshop to build tools as well: crowbars, shovels, a knife. Even upgrade some guns actually upgrade some broken guns to help you out.
Oh, cool.
Because sometimes you also get people hassling your...
Near Croatia.
Yes, near Croatia, Yugoslavia. Yeah, Hades is looking up the location right now.
She disbelieves you, Tom.
Oh, someone's like, where? I don't know much about Eastern Europe, to be honest.
I don't think many people do. Anyway, sorry, Eastern people, Europe.
Albania,
Eastern Europe people, even.
We love you here at the Kiddens Podcast. Yeah.
No, I mean, you start off with it's lovely and simple. You get one person guarding during the evening. I mean, occasionally you have a few survivors. Some people come up and it will say, "Oh, they're just survivors. We fended them off easily enough." But towards the end of it, you had armed groups of maniacs wandering the roads.
Yeah.
So every night I had two people up on guard duty. No one was getting any sleep, and we were running out of bullets so quickly, and it was getting worse and worse. I mean, as soon as we ran out of bullets, my survivors started getting wounded.
Ooh.
It was just this was like the 40th day, so it was. And I was just checking the radio, and she said, "Peacekeeping forces has arrived. They're now getting themselves distributed and ready to aid the city." And I'm just like, "They're here right now. Why can't we leave? Why is this not ending any quicker?" And towards the end, it was actually getting to the point where people were starving. I was feeding my people every other day just to
Wow.
stretch out the supplies. Then I actually went to the local hospital with all my medical supplies just to trade for some food, and they barely had anything. So in the end, I just actually roamed to the hospital, picking every cupboard that wasn't being watched, which did actually warrant some food, but I still felt awful for it.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, okay, here's one more. Here's another review. This is another one I saw that really got to me as well. I found a house with 2 old people, a husband and his wife. The wife was sickly and could barely run. The husband asked I leave. I didn't. He asked that I please leave his wife alone. They were defenseless. I walked around and poked into their inventory. I couldn't take anything because it would mean I would be stealing. But the husband yelled, "Hey, stop, what are you doing? Bandits, help. Oh God, please stop." I mean, that's one other thing in the game as well. You so much as poke, people will assume you're trying to steal, and they will chase you off.
Oh, really?
I was confused. I hadn't done anything wrong. I looked, but did not touch, so I ran out. I came back the next day with medicine to see if I could trade or perhaps give the medicine to help a sick wife. No options came up, so I left. I came back the next day and still nothing. I thought to myself, maybe if I sneak around I can get away with stealing their things. I was caught. They yelled in fear and ran around the house to keep away from me. I attacked them. They begged for mercy and begged me to stop. I killed her husband with a shovel. The sickly wife was in a fetal position on the third floor. I took everything and left the wife to fend for herself. I came back to my shelter, and I stared at my computer screen. I went to my bathroom and looked in the mirror, asking myself, did I really do that? Was it needed? I tried to tell myself what I did was for the greater goods of my shelter and the people living in it. But I attacked a defenseless old couple, took their things, killed the husband who was trying to protect his sick wife, and left the wife to fend for herself. Oh God, please save this lost lamb. What have I become?
This is like a
You know,
real
from this and the
mindfuck
game that you reviewed last time,
Yeah.
man, you're playing some fucking depressing games.
Yeah.
Like,
What was
Yeah.
my game last time? I forget.
God's will.
Yeah, God's
God's
will
will
be
be
watching.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
God's will be watching.
But that's actually what I love about this game, because, I mean, stop trying to bite me. Sorry, Haley's being weird. I mean, do you remember? Okay, I'm sure everyone remembers when I reviewed Call of Juarez, the cartel.
Yeah.
Juarez, yeah.
It just didn't take the subject matter seriously, and this one, it really does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the same. This is in the same region as Spec Ops: The Line. It's taking war, and it's not doing a Call of Duty where it's just using it as an excuse for a shooting gallery. It's using it as a mature medium, as a mature setting.
Yeah.
I mean, the game has actually got a link to War Child donations. This is a charity group which donates money for children in war-torn countries.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry, Tom. This game doesn't have jetpacks and kill streaks. It's a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just gotta say.
You've been playing COD too much, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you an example of how well it's succeeded. I mean, in the second day of its release, it's made back its development costs.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
What did you say about when it? Some people were pirating the game a bit as well.
Someone pirated the game. Do you know what the company did? Sorry, what's the name? 11-Bit Studios, based in Poland. I almost said Persia. Poland.
Yeah.
Persia doesn't exist anymore. Wait, does it?
I don't know.
Let me look it up.
So, but yeah, what they did was, let me see. Where is it here? Yeah, the company response was to post a number of working serial numbers in the comments, encouraging downloaders to share them with their friends and buy the game when their financial situation allows.
Oh, right.
So,
Oh, Jesus.
so these guys are good. This is another development company that have earned my admiration and respect.
Hmm.
It's one of those indie ones, just like Muse Games, where I just see these guys and I'm just like, good on you, boys.
You know, one of the best.
Actually, sorry, go on.
One of the best anti-pirate.
Oh,
Sorry, go on.
sorry, no. One of the trailers, they actually got a survivor from Sergia to narrate his experiences,
Oh, right. That's cool.
because they are marketing on the fact that it's just like, this is not a war game. This is a survival in a war game.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually seen a few other reviews
Experience.
about some veterans who just played it and they said, fucking 10 out of 10. I've survived. I've been through war and I've always, my heart's bled for civilians caught in this, and this game is giving them a voice. God bless 11-Bit Studios, that kind of thing.
So, had the developers been part of that war
I don't know if any of them.
Were they just inspired by it?
I think they were just inspired by it.
That's really good of them to then make this contribution and representation of the people who suffered in that war.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But he's got no jetpacks, so sorry.
You and
I
your
think what
flipping
it's actually a
jetpacks,
really
Tony.
addictive game because I would actually convince myself, right, I've got to crack on with an essay. I will survive this night, and then I will go do my work.
Oh,
and
man.
then literally about a week later, and then
I don't think you've done your essay yet, have you?
and this was the essay before.
Oh, okay. He did do it last minute.
Yes, I did. That's how good this game was, putting me off my work.
Mm.
So, and it's just
It wasn't even you playing the game. It was you looking in the mirror and questioning your own morality. That's what it was
I
doing.
was actually quite proud of myself because I helped a lot of people. I did do some questionable things towards the end, but I'm pretty sure everyone would be doing something wrong at this time. It was just actually most of the time it was just I had to stay home because people were just trying to break in all the time.
Right.
It got rough.
Yeah. What,
People,
what's the actual gameplay like though? Like
It's,
how do you play the game?
it's kind of I would describe it probably like a platform. It's a 2.5D platform type. It's not quite well. You're not platform in the traditional sense. You're not bouncing from place to place. It's okay. You know XCOM.
Yeah.
You know the base layout.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
That you click your character and you send them across from one point. You interact with the
You mean in the base, the headquarters? in
the
XCOM?
headquarters of XCOM.
Yeah.
So that's how the game is 2.5D. You're only looking at it from one side, and you're sending them across from left to right.
Right. Okay.
And the world. It's not constant as well. I mean, things change around. I mean, I tried playing around a second time, and I had totally different people. And the kids came up to me like 2 days after the initial release, and I had no food to give them, no medicine. I felt absolutely horrendous.
It's almost like a random
It's-
generation.
It's roguelike elements, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you choose not to take survivors on, or are you like stuck with a basic amount?
You can actually, but you have a finite number to start off with. I mean, you start off with 2, 3, or 4, and somewhere along the line, someone will come by and say, "Look, something's happened. Can I stay with you guys for a while?" And you could say yes or no. I always say yes but you also have the option to triage, if you will. I mean, another review talks about they had enough food for 2 people, but they had 3 people. One of them was badly wounded, depressed, and sick,
Yeah.
and starving. There was no way they can get him to 100%, so they just chose not to feed him.
Oh.
He died
Oh.
2 days later.
Mm.
I mean, that's it. It's all awash with grey. There's
Yeah.
lighter shades of grey where you feel really good. I mean, one other instance, I came across this mall. This soldier was hassling this woman, saying, "You're hungry? I've got some food here. I could get you some food if you like. Just come back with me." And she was like, "No, thanks. I've got to go home." And he started losing his shit, saying, "You're going to come with me because I've got the food. You're going to do what I tell you to." And he was properly getting rapey, so I snuck up behind him and just stabbed him in the neck.
Nice.
Stab.
And I was just like, "Yep, I feel good about what I've done here today." I'll be honest, I saw soldiers. I wasn't inclined to give them the better end of a deal. I mean, I went to this construction site. A rebel ran past me saying, "What are you doing here? Run!" A soldier came out of nowhere. I managed to sneak around him and stabbed him in the neck and took his AK-47.
Oh, right.
Oh, result for me. But just lots of little things happen. That it's just grey. It's a wash of different shades of grey. It doesn't make you out to be a good guy or bad guy. The people do that for you. The survivors do that for you. They will say, "I'm pleased with what we did," or "I don't think we should have done that," or "Why did I do that? I feel awful for doing that." The survivors react to what happens to them.
Oh, right. So it's a real moral shade of grey game.
People talk
Very
about
much
having
makes
a
you
moral
think.
choice. This is a game that is about choices.
Yeah.
And like not necessarily some of them are like
Yeah, not
it's
good.
it's not right or wrong. It's just this is the consequences of something.
What can you
Yeah.
live with, and what can you justify? I
Exactly.
mean, I saw another review of a guy who said, people talking about feeling bad, and I was just like, one time I went to a abandoned school with 3 homeless people, and I killed them all with a shovel. All I got was herbs for it. I'll do it again any day.
it's another thing as well. Another factor to consider is survivors sometimes have needs. They're smokers or they love coffee.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, fucking smokers were a nightmare to deal with. I mean, I managed to trade like some items for as much rollies as the guy had. I traded for 7. They wanted to consume 9 a day.
What? You're in a war. Just give it up already. Come on.
To say, can we not fucking ration 1 rollie a day? Do you think you can handle that? These things do not grow on trees.
Well,
There are no more trees here.
Just treat it as an extreme like push for you to give up smoking, and there you go. You're fine then. I just would have let him go without.
Yeah. Suck it up,
That's
bitch.
me. Suck it up. Yeah.
I'll tell you now, come winter, you really do struggle. I mean, there was this one, everyone was piled into the basement, 2 beds, wood burner, everyone was just crammed in there, and I was just burning as much as I could. Oh, but even then people still got sick. Almost lost, was it? No, it was Pablo again. Almost lost him. That was a nightmare.
Poor
He's
Pablo.
trouble though.
He's the fastest runner, and he's useful for running down Sniper's Alley. But one other thing is there's lots of little hints about the world feels like it was lived in, was past tense, because I would go around and find little letters like there was one, the first house I went into, I saw a scrolling on the wall saying how he lost his family and wife, and he killed someone, and he buried the gun in the back garden, and he was going to leave and not to look for him.
Oh, right.
Another one, I went to a school, I found this note in a desk. It's about a little kid writing to his mum that wasn't delivered. He just said, "We're being kept in school now. My friends, oh God, what was this? This little girl was shot by a man named Sniper. Why? She hadn't done anything to this sniper. Everything's getting scary, and a bomb blew up right by the school. Can I come home soon? Teacher says we can go when you come get us." And the note was still in the class. You just come across little bits like that, and you're like, "Fucking hell!"
And there are a lot of those like little touches in the game.
There are a lot of those little touches in the game, yeah. And it's just, it started off innocently enough, just helping people as much as I could, and I would help people that come to my door, trade as much as I could.
Yeah.
But there was a point where as soon as I started seeing soldiers soldiers or bandits, I would just, in the first half of the game, I would avoid them, have nothing to do with them. But it got to a point where I had to go into the areas where they were dealing, and I just killed everyone I saw. Took all their weapons, took everything that wasn't nailed down, and I made a nice tidy profit.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them were good guys, Tom. Though, can you live with
Some
that?
of them could have had families, but they were bandits and they were soldiers. This is war, man, and I've got to look after my people. Again, Pablo was feeling a bit shitty for it, but that boy had a heart of gold. That one.
And you changed him into a monster.
I didn't change him. The war changed him. War changes. War never changes.
War
but it
never
changes
changes.
people.
Fallout reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Fallout references.
But so the game gets a firm.
Oh,
paw of
every
approval
bloody
then.
paw there is.
All
And
the paws.
if you want a serious game that doesn't sugarcoat it or doesn't want to make light of anything, that actually turns to you, that you feel treats subject matter with respect, this is a game you will love.
It makes you
Let's
think.
play. Let's play. Let's play. Let's play.
Yeah. I'll look at it. I'll look at getting the channel started this Christmas when I don't have an abundance of essays or dissertations.
I'm just gonna keep pressuring you into doing it. But you
Yeah.
keep coming all these games that are quite interesting. I'm just like,
Let's
then let's play.
Let's play.
I'm just gonna be sitting there and just literally stuff like, yeah, no jetpacks. Sorry, Tony.
Jetpack.
We don't really do that as a joke, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Someone in the comments gonna be like, "Oh my god, Tony's such a COD lover." And it's like you didn't listen to any of the other episodes where I rinsed that game.
Fanboy, OMG.
This actually, the article you showed us like 3 or 4 weeks ago, where you were it was comparing Spec Ops: The Line to Call of Duty,
What?
and
Well, no, it was saying why one pisses all like Call of Duty doesn't take it. You know, it's like silly, and then you got like Spec Ops: The Line, which is the
A series.
it's basically Call of Duty is war without dealing with consequences, and that essentially is what sociopaths are. So.
But it started off because, I mean, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, this is just another Call of Duty. But then I played it, got through it, and I'm just like,
Them
It changes
feels.
you.
Them
You're not the
feels.
you lose your worldview when you play Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah.
I mean, you come
When
through
the
to
game's
that,
like, you know,
it's
you've got like. I thought the best thing in that game that really drove it home to me, right, is that you know you got the tooltips. It's like, oh, press this button to reload, and then like at the end of the game, it's like you don't have any tooltips. It's just the game's like you're a murderer. It's like, what? You're supposed to be giving me tutorial tips. You're a murderer. You killed people. You're a bad man. It's like, what are you doing to me, game? Stop it.
You
just turn the mirror on
disgust
you and just say, "You see what you are? Are you happy with this?"
Oh, dear.
And of course, you weren't fighting just generic foreign people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one other thing that knocks me about Call of Duty. It's always white burly dudes fighting foreign people.
Yeah. So, generic Afghan number 1, generic Middle Eastern number 2, Russian
Generic
bad
Russian.
guy number 4, German or possibly bad American who's always the boss.
So how much is this war of mine anyway?
Yeah.
This War of Mine. Sorry, I'm just currently, right now, on the reviews, just picking through the best ones. Store page. Of course, we've got the Steam sale right now, so...
Yeah.
At this moment in time, here we go. 10%. Oh, yeah, it's like £15, which I would wholeheartedly recommend.
Yeah, it's worth its money.
It's really worth its money. And
If you want to question your own morality.
Yeah. If you want a mind fuck.
96 of the user reviews on Steam are positive.
That's good.
It's really good. Oh god, it really does get to me because it's got this wonderful artistic design to it. It's sketched like in the background, you know, like someone drew this.
Yeah.
It's the only way you could really capture this kind of thing, isn't it? You can't have it too realistic, otherwise it's horrific. It's almost like someone's remembering this, and that ties back to the trailer I told you. They actually had a survivor that talked about his experiences.
It's a unique little game that's
It's
well
a unique
worth
little
playing.
game, and I want more games to take subject matter this seriously.
Yeah. So it's not often something like this actually gets handled with respect and care. It's just every game about war seems to be a Call of Duty type clone, except for those few like this one and, Spec Ops: The Line, which actually approach it from a decent point of view and,
This does nothing like Call of Duty because you're not a soldier. You're a
this is
survivor.
approaching it from like the other side.
I mean, because I'm pretty sure you've got some people in Call of Duty, some generic NPCs that are just like hiding in the corners, and you're just brushing past them without.
It's like, well, you're jumping
second
about
thought.
in your.
These are those people.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're jumping
the
about
jetpacks
in your
done to us?
ludicrous
You've got
physics.
your
breaking
jetpack and your RPGs and your tanks. You've got these people here fighting each other over a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
It's moldy.
A week-old loaf of bread that's as hard as the life they live.
Oh, them feels.
I know, right? That was poetic. I didn't even rehearse that. That was
That
awesome.
was fantastic.
Off the cuff.
Fighting over a week-old hard bread that's as hard as the lives they live.
So right, Tom, right?
Yeah.
Just give me a promise, okay? You need to play a really fun game, okay? Because I feel that you're gonna get like mentally scarred by.
It's
all
going to
these
be next
really
week.
games.
It's going to be lighting a cigarette. It's just like fun.
Play something silly.
Tell that to the people of Bosnia.
Cheer up. Play something.
Go
silly.
play Lollipop Chainsaw, okay?
Yeah, go
There's-
play
there's-
Lollipop Chainsaw. Do it. Go play it. That's funny as fuck.
It's gonna be-
Or like a flash game of Nyan Cat. Just do that for a little while, you know?
You're just going to see me next week. I'm going to have a beret and dark glasses, smudges under my eyes, and I'm just going to be asking the grey waves rhetorical questions about life.
Gaming podcast. Life isn't a game.
You don't know what I saw, man. You weren't there. I seen some shit. I wouldn't recommend it.
That's actually the thing as well. I do actually have that genuine feeling playing this, talking to you. It's just like, I can't describe what happened because you weren't there.
Yeah.
You don't know what it was like for me.
You need to be in the game. But yes, so this War of Mine getting a firm pour of approval from Tom there. Very nice.
Absolutely.
Very
And I
nicely
would
done.
recommend it to anyone to
Yes.
play it.
Highly recommend it.
I would say, guys, just wait for the Jetpacks DLC and then it should be alright.
There's not going to be any jetpacks DLC.
Tony loves his
It's a serious war
jetpacks.
game. You want to have some feels, play this game.
Yeah. Just ignore Tony creaming for his jetpacks. Like a fanboy.
I'm actually Call of Duty, you nerd.
Right, anyway, so yes. Next up, we're going to have... Well, let's go with Haley next. She's covering Final Fantasy IX. Take it away, Haley.
So I'm actually just looking up the races because there are different races in Final Fantasy IX, and I don't remember all the names for them.
She's been playing this one for how long?
Well, since it came out, it first came out into the year 2000.
Yeah.
That's when it was first released by the almighty giant Squaresoft, which is now Square Enix, or Squeenix for short.
We call Squeenix when we disrespect it. We call it Square Enix when we feel it's earned its title.
Yeah. When it's done well.
It just suddenly sit there and just like, this pleases me, Square Enix.
Well, I found, why do I think that you guys are like the like the farmer in Babe? It's just like, that'll do, Square Enix. That'll do.
Yeah.
Well, this is my personal favourite one, and it's usually the most unrecognised. It's usually glanced over. They go 7, 8, then they go on to 10 and 12. And then 13,
Do people recognise 13 anymore?
Well, it's still making too much of a mess to actually not recognise, unfortunately.
It's basically acknowledged like that cousin we don't speak about. What's up with Jack? He's drooling in the corner as well as crapping himself. That's just Jack. Don't pay attention.
Let's just leave him there doing that. Yeah.
I can't. He's trying to eat the curtains. How can I ignore that? Can we put him down or something? Probably.
Okay. Well,
Are you saying that you want to put down Lightning?
I want to put down Lightning with both barrels, and I will happily do that straight in her face as she looks at me with cold, soulless eyes.
And also,
Christian Stewart eyes.
Tell me about the Moogles, Tom.
Tell me.
Sorry, I'm teaching of mice and men at the moment.
I wouldn't even do a George and say it all teary eyes while saying, "Look over there. You see the alfalfa for the rabbits." No, I'll just look Lightning dead in the eye and just say, "Lightning just struck out." Blah.
Then you need CSI glasses. Then if you're gonna do
I hate
that.
Lightning.
Aww.
Looks like your lightning is up. Yeah. You need that glasses.
Dude. No, yeah. Just line up the cast from Final Fantasy 13 on every Final Fantasy game, and I will happily do a nasty thing of literally just go to the line, playing.
Well, talking of
And
lightning,
just dump them in all of mass grave. Sorry,
talk about
go on.
the best black mage of Final Fantasy. Yay!
Yay!
Segway!
Segway rage. I'm sorry.
My Segway skills, they live on, just like Celine Dion.
Yeah. Well, this is actually probably the latest game with the class system, really. Well, they have it in the other games, the newer games. You've got 7, let's talk about 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and that's it. I'm not going to talk about any others because the online ones don't count, okay?
Alright.
For the classic, this is an RPG adventure, probably the most stereotyped RPG that you can get for a Final Fantasy game, because you have the knights, you have warrior, rogue, thief. I think they're probably the same, actually, aren't they?
I would assume so.
White mage, black mage, blue mage. You don't have any red mages in this, though. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it the most for the story, because I always rant about how I love story in games, and that's what I love the most about this. It's got a complex story that doesn't hold the punches.
Yeah.
It lets it go. You start off as Zidane, which is the automatic name.
You get to customize names as well, which is always fun.
You do get to customize names because they did voice acting back then.
And you can customize all the names, couldn't you? Whereas, like, I know in 8 you couldn't customize them all. You could only customize the main 2 characters.
Yeah.
Oh god, I can't remember actually.
No, I know. In number 8 you can't customize the other characters, but I know in 9 you can.
You can customize all of them. But I used to change his first name, the first guy's name, but his name is Zidane. Zidane Tribal. Yeah. And he is a thief, and he's working with his band of thieves to kidnap.
Steampunk pirates, kind of, aren't they?
Yes. This is that's another point that I'll get onto. Don't throw my points, Tom. But he works with his band of bandits to kidnap the Princess Garnet till Alexandros the 17th. I remembered it. Also known as Dagger later on, and she also is accompanied by one of her knights. Then you pick up Vivi as well, who is the Black Mage.
I love Vivi.
Vivi is awesome. Did you know Vivi's in Kingdom Hearts 2.5 as well?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh man, don't do that to me. What are you doing that for? That's so mean.
Because I'm excited.
That's so mean.
I get it this Saturday. It's my birthday present, so I'm just gonna say no. I don't want to go shopping now. I want to play my game.
I'm just gonna like abandon our Facebook forum for that day and just be like, I'm not even gonna look at it. If something comes up about it, I'm just gonna be like, oh fuck this.
I can't wait. It's on PS3, so it's previous gen game.
All right.
For now, so it's not too bad. But anyway, getting back on track. You start off with the basic 4 characters, and you get lost in a wood, and then it goes on from there. And you build up you meet up with further characters, and you build up your team. You've got different races. So you've got humans, black mages, which this is a spoiler. They're created. They are made.
Oh right.
I remember that in the story now.
Yeah, they're not born. They're made. So they are a race of their own. And then you've got the people of, what's it called? Where is it? Freya City. Burmecia. The city of everlasting rain.
Ooh.
It's constantly raining.
Ugh.
And you can Freya Crescent from there. She's a dragon knight who is a rat lady.
A rat.
Oh yeah.
A rat lady, that's right. And then you've also got there's different races of humans by the looks of it as well, I would say, because one character that you pick up who is a bounty hunter who tries to kill you but joins your party in the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's his skin color is curious. His appearance is quite curious, so I would say he's a different race of humans. But there you are. You also meet up with Quina. You do meet up with Quina, and you do get him, and he's the blue mage, and he's really weird, funny. Well, I say he is a he/she because it's never clear.
Yeah.
I can't explain what he is. I can't even describe. It's sort of a round white thing.
It's something.
Okay, think classic mime. It's a fat mime with a chef's hat and Lickitung. Lickitung mixed with a mime.
Yeah.
It's a chef's outfit.
And a chef hat. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Hey, I did it.
You've actually done the impossible there because there's no way to describe what that character is. Really.
I know, it's insane. And Zidane, the main character, has a monkey's tail, which is revealed at the end. I'm not spoiling that one because it's kind of an M. Night Shyamalan twist, but it's
All right.
better than what he can ever pull off.
Is he a Saiyan?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Is he a Saiyan?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know
That
what
would be
you
awesome.
No, don't go back to the dark days of this podcast where we're talking about Kamehameha.
No.
Okay, well, let me just finish this last race and then I'll go on to it, okay? Where you meet the final girl who, oh god, what's her name again? I always forget her.
She's a little girl, isn't she?
Yeah, Eiko, who's about 8.
Yeah.
And she's a summoner, and she has a horn on her. She's kind of like, she's got a horn on her forehead, like a unicorn would, but it's a small one. And she's from a summoning race, and she's the last of her race. Anyway, so going back to Zidane, the main character who has a monkey tail. It's funny you say he's a Super Saiyan because you're not far off.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
because they have a limit break system in the game.
Yeah.
As they do in Final Fantasy VII. However, it's an automatic system that's called trance, and what happens is the character will automatically go into it when the bar fills, and they will glow purple in this instance, and their appearance will change, and their clothes, their hair might get spikier and stuff like that. Basically, there's an appearance change.
All right.
So he does go Super Saiyan, basically.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I do remember that now.
Oh,
Because
right.
they all have the trance mode, didn't they? And they all start glowing and shit
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
so fun. I love it, and they actually do. Going on to I'm going to go on to the actual genre of, topic of the game now, because we said it's an RPG.
Yeah.
It's very open world. well, it's a reasonably open world RPG, which is really fun. Lots of mini games. It is the most steampunk Final Fantasy that I've ever seen,
Oh, okay.
including Final Fantasy 12, because it incorporates so much more of steampunk than Final Fantasy 12 does. Yeah, it's Final Fantasy 12. They have airships, but Final Fantasy 9 does have airships, and they have a very steampunk environment in the towns and the cities. Like the Great Door of Lidlam that opens up, and it's a clock face. It's kind of it's difficult to explain, but it's a clock face and an astrological. It's really weird. But there's a hole in a circle, and it gets blocked off when they want to shut the gate. I can't explain it. You've got to look it up. I absolutely love the music, the songs in there. 1,000 words? No, that's Final Fantasy 10. 2. Melodies of Life is the song from Final Fantasy 9, and I absolutely love it.
My favourite song from that is I can't remember the name of the track. I think it's like "I Won't Give Up" or something like that. Or it's the bit in the game. And spoilers, but then, like, as you say, at the end of the game, like, a big revelation comes out about the main character.
Yeah.
And he's like, he doesn't know, like, whether or not he really wants to, like, continue on.
Yeah.
And like the track behind it, man, he's just like, it transports you, it makes you think exactly like him. You're like, is there really any point to it? And then, like, it gets like a big crescendo, and you're like, yes, come on, we can do it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just
Final
There is
Fantasy's
so
always
much-
been good for its music, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, sublime.
Yeah.
they're amazing composer, and their music. I've got the whole orchestral track actually, and it's absolutely amazing. One of the favourite tracks that I love actually from Final Fantasy 9 that I play a lot is Vamos al Flamenco,
I love that one.
which is the tune that you get when you're riding on a chocobo, because they have chocobos in this game and you can ride them everywhere, and it comes up with this music, and it's absolutely great. It's very Spanish in the music.
Yes.
I find.
There's a lot of influences of that in the game, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
A good flavour from that region.
I'll do
Whereas,
that.
like, I like the fact that, Final Fantasy X had a very, like, oriental sort of, and like, inspiration and stuff. So I like the way that they do that, in these games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take from all over the place, really. One bit that I really liked about Final Fantasy 9 was I love their mini games, all of their mini games. I get addicted to them. But the Chocobo Forest, where chocobos don't just serve as steeds, but they also serve as hunting creatures.
Oh, okay.
They hunt for treasure. And if you find that's inside the forests or caves, depending on where you're hunting, and out in the wild, you can also find treasure out in the open world. And after a while, and this is sort of a spoiler, but also a motivation. After a while, once you collect a certain amount of treasure, you'll be taken up to the Chocobo God.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be given. He's a giant fat Chocobo, and you'll be then given extra abilities. So first, I think it's the ability to walk over mountains, and then it's the ability to walk over shallow water. Then it's the ability to walk over deep water, and then the ability to fly.
Nice.
And it's really cool to be able to do that in your bird. And you do get airships and such later on, but still Chocobo.
That's you can't get much more of a grand entrance than flying in on a golden chocobo.
Yeah.
So.
It's like, "Doof, what's up, bitches?"
That means you mean business. That shit's gonna get done.
Yeah. Stand aside, bitches.
Talking about I wanted to go on to the battle system a little bit, because it's still turn-based, which a lot of people don't like.
I think that's the reason I never really got into Final Fantasy. Is I like turn-based combat didn't really appeal to me.
Yeah, except with this one, it's a little bit more tense. It takes away some of I can just chillax for a bit. It doesn't wait for you to have your turn. The enemies will keep attacking. If you say fall asleep while you're playing it, your turn bar will fill and then wait for you to make a move. However, the enemies won't wait for you. They'll start attacking you and kill you.
It's the ATB gorge, isn't it? Like I know in number 10 it was like, if you got your turn, that's your turn. Like,
You've got a queue in
Yeah.
Fantasy 10, and you can move the faces and whatever. But there's a queue for it, and you can just wait and just go to sleep for a bit if you wanted to. But with Final Fantasy 9, you've got to stay alert because they will kill you if you don't keep attacking.
Yeah.
So it does pull out of the turn base a little bit, which is good, and it just keeps the tension alive. Whilst it's not normal battling, I suppose, normal fighting, it does still keep that tension alive.
I think one of the cool things with that, though, as well, is that with Final Fantasy IX, you've got 4 characters instead of 3. So, like, you're doing a lot more interaction in the battle because, like, the one extra character means you've got to make an extra set of decisions every little while, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and some of the characters can combine their attacks to make a more powerful attack.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
And also, actually, with the characters, you have 8 characters in total. And at one point in the game, at certain points throughout the game, you play as each of those characters. So you can control each of those characters, diving into their
backstory
a little bit.
Yeah.
And
one of the things I like about sorry to interrupt there, but one of the things I like about that character is that it's got a little bit of a political undertone with two nations, like basically on in like a kind of like in a standoff, and like you can like play like one of the main. This is a big spoiler. One of the main, like the generals of the other group. I can't even remember her name, but she's like a badass soldier. And I always really liked her as a character throughout the game, even though you had to fight her. And then, like, during the middle of the game, you could actually get her in your team. And you could actually use her in your team. I was like, that's amazing. I love that. And
then there's the Beatrix and Steiner.
Steiner.
Combo.
Yeah.
Loves Steiner. He calls him Steiner.
Steiner.
We do ridiculous voices.
When we do play it, I do actually try and voice everyone with a variety of different voices. This is my Steiner voice.
God.
That's what it's at home. Oh god, what's the queen called again?
Queen Bran.
Bran!
Yeah. Oh gosh, love it.
You know those basically cartoon women who just suddenly turn around and it's just like, that's not a woman, that's a space station.
Yeah.
But,
I love that. Like, she's like the adoptive mother of like of Garnet, and Garnet's like this sweet, pretty little thing, really, and then you've got like the mother's just like, okay, well we can tell that you are an adoptive mother because there's no traits that share with your said daughter.
They said that when they found Garnet, and again this is a real spoiler, but when they found Garnet, that she looked just like their daughter that they had lost.
Come on. That's just the grief talking. There's no way. There's no way.
Well, you never know. That's... Of course, they had to remove a certain part of Garnet for her to look like their daughter.
Yeah. Snap.
So basically, she used to be a boy. No, we won't go to that.
That's what I was implying, boys and girls.
She's the summoner. They don't. Whereas in Final Fantasy VIII, I don't know what it was like in Final Fantasy VII actually, but in Final Fantasy VIII, everyone could have a summon spirit and could all summon people, and it's the same in Final Fantasy 12. However, only one person, like in number 10, in number 9, only 2 people can summon Eidolons.
Yeah. They're like an extremely rare people, aren't they? Like.
Yeah. I mean, in this story, it's the people of the certain race, the race that that Eiko is from, the last of the summoners.
Yeah.
They're the only people that in the whole world that can actually summon the Eidolons.
All right.
However, you can't summon them straight away, and you've almost got to unlock it.
Yeah.
Which is it's quite interesting to have to unlock it, and it's not through you've got to reach a certain level. You've got to unlock it through you've got to overcome a certain emotional trauma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a huge bit of story attached to each one, isn't there? Like you've got to talk about, like.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's brilliant. I love everything about the game. I love the Tom doesn't understand the card games and finds that annoying, but I sort of understand it and I love it. I love everything about it. I love the bidding house in Trento.
Yeah.
It just like last minute, just before everyone's about to finish, you say, "I'll buy it," okay, and then you buy it without anyone bidding against you.
Yeah.
I remember going out and buying the guide to Fantasy 9 because I love the artwork and everything, and it showed you everything, and I've still got it to this day. Sellotape together, it's beautiful.
Back in the days when Prima strategy guides were the only way to get information about games.
Prima strategy guides. Yeah, when the internet was still in its infancy, and you needed the guide to get through.
I had to play on YouTube the dial-up tone to one of my students recently because he didn't know what dial-up was.
Oh my god.
I know.
Showing our age there a bit, aren't we? Daddy, what's dial-up? Fuck.
None of your business, child.
Back in
You live
my
in an
day,
easier
if we
place.
used the phone, the internet would drop out.
Back in our day. Oh. Anyway, speaking of back in our day, this was released on PS1 and was then re-released in 2010 on the PlayStation Network as a PlayStation 1 Classic, I think it's called.
Alright, yeah.
And you can now get it on Steam as well.
Can you?
Yep.
Cool.
Wait, when can you get it on Steam?
I'm pretty sure you can get it on Steam. I know you can get other Final Fantasies on Steam.
I know you can get 7 and 8. If there's 9 on there now, I'm buying that shit today.
Yeah, gonna
Right.
get bought.
Oh, I don't know actually. Maybe I'm wrong then. I thought it was.
What
on...
are you doing to me, Haley? You're getting my hopes up, like with the Kingdom Hearts. Now this. What? Come on. You can't do this to me.
Sorry.
You are the worst kind of person,
I'm
Haley.
aware. But yeah, I mean, you just go onto the network and get it. Oh, you don't have a PS3.
I don't have a PlayStation.
Oh, well, it's not my fault, is it?
Maybe you
Let's
should have
say
one,
the
Tony.
everything's
God.
yours.
Yeah. Well, there's always 8 and 7.
Yeah. Well, I want
This is what I
9.
mean. Final Fantasy 9 very often gets overlooked, and this is why it's not on Steam. Sorry, everyone, it's not on Steam. Sorry.
Ah!
Dog.
Oh,
This is what I'm saying. It gets overlooked so much, but I remember when I was reading a review of number 10 back in the day, and it just completely skipped over number 9 because it went comparing from 7 and 8. Oh, it's not much of a difference graphically, and then you go on to number 10, and it's amazing. What about number 9?
Yeah. Someone talk about it. Damn it.
It just gets overlooked so much,
Hmm.
and I think it's the best one.
One of those hidden classics kind of thing.
It is. I
Yeah.
love the story. The story's a little bit simpler than number 8 and 7, I think.
I think what people do with that game, right, and this is just my opinion, obviously, but what I think people do with that game, because it's more cartoony in terms of its aesthetic than the other two, especially 8, you know, because that was they almost went like a sort of like a realistic sort of look on it, right?
Tried.
Yeah. But with this one, it's like, oh, it's a little bit more cartoony, you know, in the way that its aesthetic is, the way its character designs are. And they're like, oh, you know, it's going to be such a light-hearted story. But I'd argue that actually the story in number 9 is actually darker than 8. Like, it's
pretty
really dark.
Yeah.
Dark. Like, people just look at it in the wrong light because they're like, oh, it's all fluffy and everything like this. It's like, actually, if you just give it like 10 hours, honestly.
I mean, there's a lot of death and a lot of dramatics, and I mean, Queen Bronn, her intentions for Garnet as well.
Yeah.
It's just her own daughter. And I'm just.
It's not even a spoiler because you know from looking at her that's come on, something's wrong, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tony, what do you think of the twin jesters,
Oh my god.
oh, the most irritating bloody.
Thorn and Zorn? I hate them so much.
Because they always
I-
speak in mirror opposites.
I wish that they would stop and just die because they're meant to be annoying.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Hold on, I think Tony's dropped out.
yeah. Tony's dropped out.
Difficulties jingle playing while this is happening.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
Dun 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 dun. I don't know where I went with that.
I like it though.
Dun 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 dun
Think
dun.
back. Tony,
Wait,
you're back.
like ever. Now, I've never played a Final Fantasy game, and I feel really left out because I don't know what the fuck any of you are talking about. I mean, you haven't referenced Cloud once, and that's the only character I know. Or Tifa, that's it. Those are the only characters I know.
Seven.
We can't help you, Chris.
Yeah. It's like,
You know what I would say to you though, right? Is that I reckon, like, as someone who hasn't played Final Fantasy games, but you know of the characters,
Yeah.
I reckon you probably it would be number 7 would be built up too much for you. You probably wouldn't enjoy it.
all right.
I reckon you'd enjoy 9 more than 7, personally.
There's a lot of places to visit in 9 as well.
Yeah.
There's a
Alright.
wide world.
I might give 9 a try then. I might see if I can get it somehow, even though I don't have a PlayStation. I might see if there's a PC release for it somewhere.
There is, I know there's ROMs for it, but we don't advocate that.
Yeah.
Oh, robbing is bad.
Yes. Roaming is-
Tom says that with like so much enthusiasm.
We don't do it, people. We don't download and play games online for free that can't be bought in any other way or fashion, because that's bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
it's
just let
not.
them be unplayed and forgotten because, yeah.
Do you know what? I don't actually...
Truth be told, let's address it, right? Because we joke about it a lot,
Okay.
right?
That's the dream.
Right. In terms of ROMing, I only, out of respect of people, out of respect of developers, as you say there, I only ROM games that you can't buy in a store or you can't buy digitally, and there are a few games that you can't do that. So
Yeah.
if there's no feasible way for me to buy it, then that's the last thing that I can do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
the-
as far as like sending like a check to someone's door,
Contains.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, I've actually never ROMmed a game. I don't think I have.
A few.
It's like purely because, like, I don't want to risk getting in trouble over it. Really, I'd much rather buy the game.
Unless the game isn't around. I mean, like Suikoden, again,
Because you can't.
they've never
You can
brought
buy
it
that on the
forward.
pre-owned markets. That won't give any money to any developers or
But then also,
publishers anyway.
on the pre-owned market, it retails at about 80 quid.
Yeah, 'cause
Average.
it's expensive.
So you without paying that for a game,
What I really dislike is people, like, I see it when you get people that like crack the game, like a game after its release. It's like a new release, get it cracked and put it up as like a as a like a torrent or something like that, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, the game's just been released, really? Like,
Yeah. Don't take the piss.
come on. But there we go.
I think
Anyway,
we probably
so-
do have to go into a piracy debate at some point.
Yeah,
don't
before we get well into that. So yeah, Final Fantasy IX getting a firm pour of approval, and
approval.
an underappreciated classic pour.
It is, yeah. And
Yes.
it's not even that expensive anymore. And you can still get them around pretty easily. I think they retail secondhand around 20 to 30 quid, roughly.
Yeah, like because 9 is underappreciated, you can get it like a lot cheaper than some of the other ones, you know.
Yeah.
But like I'm with you, Hayley. I honestly don't know why people just didn't take this as much as the other ones, because I think it's sublime. I really do. I think it's worthy to stand
Yeah.
beside them. I really do.
I mean, it mixes so much. It is a very much science fiction story as well, because you've got the fantasy element, but then it does bring in steampunk, which is a subgenre of science fiction, and then it moves on to science fiction with the last segment of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in a good way as well, because there's plenty of ways that games could do that and do it bad. You know, where suddenly it was aliens all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cowboys versus Aliens or something like
Yeah.
terrible.
that. But it's just one of those combinations that doesn't sound right, but it does really work here.
Yeah.
Science fiction and fantasy are almost rivals to some people, and to some extent I would say that they kind of are, but at the same time they blended quite nicely here.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So yeah, it's well worth picking up for anyone who wants to pick it up and have fun with a Final Fantasy game. Or if you haven't played Final Fantasy like myself, probably a good game to start at.
Yeah, I started with 9 and worked my way back towards 7 and then forwards. And also it is a long game. It's got plenty of meat for you to get into because it's 4 discs.
It's like a juicy steak. Just get into that motherfucker. Just
Nom
do it.
nom nom.
Oh god, I'm something
Nom,
hungry for that
nom.
steak.
Talking of food. Okay, so awesome. Yeah, nice one from Hayley there with the nice little Final Fantasy stuff that we haven't actually heard in a while. So, yes, my turn. Tony's not doing a game today because
I'm fucking lazy. That's why I am.
Fucking lazy. He doesn't host for 1 fucking week and he gets fucking lazy on us. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Shame and
Correct.
recrimination. Put that in the comments, people.
I'm already asleep. I'm talking to you via my dreams right now. That's what I'm. That's how lazy I am.
Astral, not astral projection, but astral sound projection.
It's
Sound-
sleepception, shall we call it?
Yes.
If that's such a thing, which it obviously is not. But
Oh yeah, well, anyway, I'm going to be doing South Park: The Stick of Truth because we have referenced this a lot on this podcast. I think pretty much every podcast has had at least a reference to South Park in it somewhere.
Especially that scene.
Yes, that scene, which we will get onto in.
you know what's funny? Like you say that scene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them
That
scenes
scene.
in this game.
Yeah.
It's
From the
just
game,
fun.
there is only that scene, which only players of the game will know. You just say
Oh.
that scene, they will go, wait, what's your... Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, like those of you who listen to the podcast will be familiar with this, and you've probably all wikied it or have played it yourself just to see what the fuck we're on about. But this was released by Obsidian Entertainment in correlation with the makers, developers, writers, and gods of South Park. And it is fucking dead on point. It was released in March 2014. There's like various release dates, but it's all in like the beginning of March. It was released across all platforms, so like PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, which was really a good move. I'm glad it wasn't locked to a certain console or locked to one particular thing. So that was quite nice of them. It's a single-player role-play game that takes role-playing games to a whole new place, be it for good
Is it a
or
dangerous-
bad.
Is it a dangerous place?
It is a dark and twisted place with many perversions and what the fucks.
Bad touch.
But yeah, as I mentioned, this was written by the actual writers of South Park itself. They had a very, very heavy influence in the entire process, and it shows, because I'm sure there are like myself and the rest of us included don't really have high expectations for a game that's a TV license or a movie license.
Yeah,
It's very
I think
rare.
everyone in the world is like,
Yeah,
TV
it's
license,
very
yeah.
rare one of those games is actually worth the time it takes to make it, which is not very often. Like Thor games, the Green Lantern game, Superman games, most of the Spider-Man games, not worth the time it took to make them, because they're just fucking shit.
What about the Aquaman game?
There's an Aquaman game?
There is an Aquaman game.
Oh,
John
man.
played it.
It's bad. It's
Sounds-
bad.
Oh dear.
You just mentioned Aquaman and follow it with game, and then it's just like, nope.
Yeah,
I'm out. I'm out of here.
yeah, fuck it, I'm out.
Aquaman.
Drop
What
the
happens
mic.
if you're anywhere other than a beach or the ocean?
Yeah. See,
Conference.
that kind of gives you an idea of just how little we think of TV and movie license games.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
this right here, South Park: The Stick of Truth, is how to do it. This is how you do a TV licensed game, because it is dead on point. It captures the feel of the show, the look of the show, the humour of the show, just everything the show is about is in this game. And it works as a game as well. It is a solidly built
It
game.
pokes fun at itself very well.
Yeah, even takes a piss out of itself, which is brilliant. It takes a piss out of everything, and it's a lot more extreme than the TV show, I noticed as well. Because with the TV show, there's obviously stuff that they might get in trouble for doing, or that, the actual, people who are putting the show on TV, be it Comedy Central or whatever, have turned around and said, no, you can't put that in, you're going to have to take that bit out. But with the game...
they've been forgiving, haven't they, Comedy Central? But it's just some stuff you just
Yes.
can't do. You can't do.
Although to be fair, there is a few things that they can't show in
Yeah.
certain countries. I don't know if I've seen it on the UK version of the game, but I know they definitely got it in Australia.
Yeah, Australia, a load of stuff got censored. I think some stuff in Canada got censored as well, but I think the UK and the US both got like full released versions. I don't think
Really?
anything was done. Yeah, I think
Well, I tell you
so.
what, I got the Irish one, and loads of stuff was censored. So
Really?
Oh, the
I
Irish are
didn't
so
count on any
delicate.
of that. I didn't
Yeah.
count on anything that was.
you know, like
censored.
there's the scene where, well, just spoilers now, that
Yes.
Randy
Yeah, this-
gets basically butt fucked, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Sorry, who's
so.
butt fucked? Haley asked.
Randy.
Randy, he
Oh.
gets probed hardcore.
Yeah, like you try and do the thing, because I looked it up online, obviously, because I was like, I want to know what I'm missing.
Yeah.
And it's like the bit where you have to put like the colours on, and then like if you do it forces you to do it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and then he gets butt fucked, right?
Yeah.
I never saw that. It's been
He's
removed.
probed. He's probed.
Wow.
Probed for the children. For the sake of the children, he was probed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so guys, so those of you out there in the internet land, if you're going to play this, play it on a, so either play a US or a UK version, so none of it is censored. And if you don't live in the UK or the US, get hold of a copy.
Somehow.
Yeah, or like visit a friend who lives in said country and play it on their machine, because like it's worth it for the uncensored stuff, because there's stuff in there that obviously they can't put in a TV show, but they've been given like free reign with a game, which is probably a bad idea on like Obsidian Entertainment's idea. Just like, oh yeah, right, whatever the fuck you want, and like the creators of South Park and their twisted genius have just come up with this game. And Obsidian Entertainment are like, oh god, what have we done?
This monster that we've unleashed. How do we?
It's like, what can we get away with? We're going to be dealing with. You're probably going to have much free reign. I'm pretty sure they just turned. Matthew and Terry just turned to each other and just said, "Challenge accepted."
Yeah, challenge accepted, bitches. Let's have you fight underpants gnomes while like your character's parents are fucking over their heads, and you have to dodge your father's ball bag as you fight. That was just. What? I couldn't concentrate on what.
Is that a real thing?
That was a real thing.
That is a thing.
That
is a thing that happens. It is a thing that happens that you have to deal with.
And you actually have to
gingers.
press buttons to
Oh
dodge.
yeah, Nazi zombies as well. The only game where I've seen Nazi zombies works really well.
Yeah, and not just Nazi zombies, like Nazi zombie aborted fetuses in the abortion clinic.
Oh, poor Khloe Kardashian.
Oh, Khloe Kardashian.
And no one gives a shit about her.
God damn. They really hit below the belt with that one, didn't they, with Khloe Kardashian? It was like, wow, that's really fucking harsh. She has like such a big abortion that it mutates into this like super aborted baby. It's like, oh my god, you've really got to have a liberal sense of humour to enjoy this game. Just fair warning to everyone who thinks they might want to play this game. If you're easily offended, or you have any subject that's a trigger for you that pisses you off, steer clear of this game.
South Park's going to tickle that area for you.
Steer clear
Well, it
of
will
it.
definitely hit near the area.
And if you do
may not
play
touch it exactly, but it will get you one way or another.
And if you know you have a trigger subject, or that you're going to get easily offended, and you do play it, and you get offended, don't get bitchy about it, because you've been warned.
Right.
Just deal with it.
It's South Park. You know what happens.
Yeah, you
can't be
know what to
surprised.
expect with South Park, and it's so awesome. I love the whole game. It looks exactly like South Park, and that's why it works so well. It looks so like an episode. It's like a full interactive like season of South Park. Like all the characters interact with you the way they interact with each other in the show. They like everyone's lines are like spot on. All the voice actors are spot on. Like it just feels like you are actually a character in South Park. And I
think it's so good.
Yeah.
It does two things. It makes you think that you've always been a part of the show.
Yeah.
From the outset, which is incredibly hard to do. Like a lot of people just like, oh, that's the way it should be. It's incredibly hard to do. And it makes you the focal point throughout the entire game. Those two things are incredibly hard to do in a game. They really are.
Yeah, especially in an RPG as well, where everything can kind of seem too big, or you don't seem that important to the story. Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2, you are a faceless mook that any fucking idiot with a sword could do your job in Dragon Age 2.
You're a handyman. Yeah. You're a handyman.
Yeah, you are a fucking handyman with a sword. It's fucking stupid. But I like the fact that Hawk works for you in Inquisition, doesn't he? Yeah. So that douchebag Hawk now works for you. Hey. Finally, Hawk, you have a use. Go clean my chamber pot, because you were shit in the last game.
Oh, that's harsh, man.
But he deserved it. He deserved it.
I think the bit that this game surprised me the most in was actually the combat mechanic.
That was fun.
I expected the combat to be very simplistic, very boring, and something you just much rather skip to like hear the vocals. Because I thought once I heard the writers were on board for this, I thought, you know, the actual story and the script and the voice acting and the writing is probably going to be good. It's very unlikely it's going to suck because they're heavily involved in it. I thought the combat was what would suffer, and the combat is actually one of its strongest points. It's it's like a turn-based thing with like interactive button prompts that encourage you to get to hit that perfect mark to do more damage, because that will be essential later on in the gameplay on like the later bosses, especially when you hit Kenny.
But I love it because the characters actually treat it like they're playing a real life game.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like you see kids just playing games, and suddenly they'll stand there and just like, is it my turn? Oh, sorry, it's your turn. While they're waiting, someone will get out the phone
and the whole
start playing.
tutorial level bit as well, where they poke fun at it as well. It's just like, I want to hit him. No, you can't hit him. But why not? Because you got to wait your turn, Carl.
Yeah.
You got to wait your turn, Carl. Like a million times. God damn it, Carl. And yeah, Cartman's fucking epic in this as well. And this game has such replayability as well, because you get to take one of the...
Sorry, talk about the class system.
I'm going to talk about the class system in a second. Hang on.
Sorry.
You get to take one of the main players of South Park off with you as a companion. You get Butters, Kenny, Cartman, Kyle, Stan, Timmy. Yeah, I think that's
you don't get Jimmy.
You get Jimmy.
Jimmy, not Timmy, sorry.
Yeah.
Timmy is a fast travel system. Fucking genius.
Yeah.
But
Stuff like you hear this roaring horse and cart thing, and then you just see him come by in his chair. A horse in front of him and a red wagon behind.
Yeah, that's just fucking brilliant. I loved that. That made me giggle. Yeah, you get to take all of them along with you. They all have their own specific, unique abilities that they can use. All of them are have certain strengths, but they also, every single one of them has unique dialogue to a given situation. So you can just so for every situation, there'll be 6 different kinds of dialogue that a certain character will say to it, which is pretty cool, which helps in depth. The whole character creation bit is also really good as well. Like, the character creation is not fantastically huge, but it's still bigger than I expected it to be. And with the character customization, there's lots of different outfits and stuff you can get throughout the game as well. There's absolutely shit tons of items that you can find and that you get, like, ranging from like sticks to like plastic swords to baseball bats, alien probes, big ass dildos, like just anything can be used as a weapon in the game, which is awesome because it harkens back to the days where you would use anything as a makeshift weapon as a kid. Well, where we were kids, not so much these days, because kids...
No, they don't. You wouldn't pretend you have a brick and just say, this is the almighty hammer of Mjolnir or something.
Mjolnir! Although I would have loved to have seen a kid our age run around with a brick gun, Mjolnir, motherfucker, and just lob it at someone.
I'll tell you what, though, I did see a couple of years ago, which made me laugh. Yeah. A couple kids playing in the local park with toy guns, but they were playing Left 4 Dead.
Nice.
Literally just kids jumping around and said, "Watch out! There's a boomer behind you! Remember to push it."
That's epic.
I was just like, "Oh my god, is this really happening?"
Well, yeah. I mean, you even get to do like a makeover at one point where you're trying to recruit the girls to your team, yeah. and you have to you get to cross-dress your character, and it's brilliant. And I also like how they deal with the fact that your character doesn't say a word, which never really gets addressed in any other RPG when you have a silent character. It never, the fact that they never ever talk in any situation, is never referenced. And even where, even the most stoic person would, say something. Yeah. And, but in South Park, he doesn't say anything. He thinks he's hot shit or something.
Yeah.
It's like they take the piss out of it, and it's brilliant.
What about when the girls were talking? It's just like he doesn't talk. He's the silent guy, and they go, "Ooh, that's hot." Yeah,
it's those little touches which make the game good. And when you get to the class system is unique, to say the least. You have your traditional classes, which is warrior, thief, and mage, which are all surprisingly developed and really well thought out classes with their own unique attacks, with their own unique specials, which are all really entertaining and have really good animations to them. And then you've got the fourth class you wouldn't traditionally find in an RPG game, or any game for that matter. You have the Jew class, which is sort of like a mage type character, like a melee mage kind of thing, I reckon.
Like a battle mage.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah, like a battle mage class, which, while it sounds like it's taking the piss, is actually a really powerful class.
Yeah.
It does
I
kick
think
ass.
I think that's what they did to offset it.
Yeah, it is a pretty badass class. You get some really cool powers with it. And yeah, your powers will like you've got your stamina and your mana bar, and your powers are really useful. Some of them are more useful than others in certain situations against certain enemies, because enemies will have armor. Like, some of them will sit at the back and pop arrows at you, while others in front smash the shit out of you with melee. And
Others are vulnerable to certain types of attack, like lightning, cold, and fire, aren't they?
Yep, some are resistant to certain types of attacks, so you have to vary up your approach, so it's not just a standard, like, turn-taking hack and slash. Especially towards the later part of the game, you actually have to apply quite a bit of tactical thinking to it. You have to actually think about your attacks a bit more. So that, you know, okay, I've got to take down this guy's armor before I use this attack, which he's vulnerable to take him out. Which is really good, because I didn't expect the combat to be that deep as well. And there's also another aspect of combat, which is, was it dragon shouting? which in
the Nagasaki,
which in the South Park universe is farting. You use your farts to make your attacks more lethal, and to gross out your opponents, which is essentially poison damage. And and it's a really interesting mechanic as well. It's not just a button press. You have to like you know, time the button presses to get the most out of your farts, so it's more effective. Otherwise you shit yourself. But even if you shit yourself, you can pick up your shit and use it as a weapon. It's just,
anyone that hasn't played the game, doesn't know South Park, must be thinking, this is like the most bonkers game I've ever heard in my life.
It is. In fact,
really is.
You are actively encouraged to go take a shit in your house so you can get an extra power up.
Yeah, in every house, not just your house,
Yeah.
every house.
Every time you find a toilet, get on it, take a shit, you get a power up.
Just take a duke.
It's just, oh, what the fuck? And then there's like the whole, like, you run across Mr. Hanky at one point, and oh my god, his special ability when you complete his quest. Oh my shit. This is not a game for those with a
Quite
weak
literally even.
stomach.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
It is like, for those of you who've seen quite a lot of old Disney films, think the Mickey Wizard scene from Fantasia.
Dum 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 dum.
Yes. Him on with title of poo and
How
It is-
It's got 4 people that can give you like super-powered, amazing attacks that would clear the battlefield at once.
Yeah. There's quite there's a few of them around. You get Jesus. Fucking Jesus. You have to find quotation marks Jesus.
Yeah.
Quite literally, he plays hide and seek with you. You have to find him. It's fucking brilliant. You've got
He's giggling all the time, isn't he? He's like,
yeah,
"Ooh."
he's like, you've got a couple of other. Well, you've also got Mr. Hanky. Then you've got the guy who runs Shittiwok.
Oh yeah, shitty what guy, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
God,
welcome
what's
to
his name?
Shittiwok.
Oh, the Mongolians! So we only serve
Oh.
Mongolian beef.
Mongolian
Hello,
beef
Mongolians.
shitty. Oh, hello, Mongolians. Yeah, you
God,
got
what is
him.
his name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
City what guy?
Shittiwok guy, yeah. But there's a few other people as well where like you know, if you complete a certain task for them, then they'll basically join your team, and you can use them like once a day or something like that. I think it's like once every 24 hours you can use these guys, or like once for every. Oh no, it's once for every game day, because like like it's once for every game day you can use these people. Then they'll come back for like the next day, and they just manage to pack so much into this game. It is absolutely insane.
It's reference mad, isn't it? It's references everywhere, no matter where you
It
look.
is fan service everywhere. Every single inch of this place is just covered in fan service. Everywhere you look, you are like you actually find yourself like wanting to go into every single house, check every single drawer, every single cupboard, smash every single thing, interact with every interactable object.
Oh
to
God, do
find
you remember
all
going
of
into
these
Cartman's
things.
mum's room?
Oh yeah, going to Cartman's front room and finding her power.
Goddess was with you. It's just like, yeah, Cartman's mum was doing all kinds of magic. Last night she had several gods around and doing all kinds of magic. Hand magic, butt magic.
Yeah. It's like, oh. Although my most epic moment was when I found like my the reference to my favourite episode of South Park, which is like the World of Warcraft episode.
Yeah, make love not Warcraft. Yeah.
Yeah, that always tickles me. I always find that funny, just because I like the backstory behind it as well. When like the people who were in charge of World of Warcraft at that time were such fans of South Park, they like built entire servers, held sweepstakes of with like the members of World of Warcraft and like the subscribers to get them into these servers to play like NPCs, and they had like whole dedicated servers where they did like choreographed action sequences, which was insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went to like not Cartman's house, fucking Stan's house. Went up to the bedroom and in like one of the side tables there was like the USB drive which had the
Sword of 1,000 Truths.
I was like, that's awesome. I have found it. And they just do so much with this game. And they do aliens as well. They do like Man Bear Pig. Like
yeah, they do like a whole series of quests around Man Bear Pig.
Yeah. And you can find the Christmas critters, the blood orgy. You can find that as well, which is quite tricky to find actually. Like, yeah. There's just so much in it. You even in a masterstroke of absolute fucking random awesomeness, you even get to go very, very far north to Canada, but not just Canada, a 16-bit version of Canada.
Yeah.
And everything's done in like 16-bit graphics. Even though you yourself look the same, the environment and the enemies is all done in 16-bit. And it looks fucking ridiculous, but really good at the same time. It's just so random and so epic, and the story itself is actually really well done. It's quite an interesting story actually. It does actually have a twist in it as well. So it's like, what?
Yeah. God, no, not just one twist. It's multiple twists.
Yeah, it has like all the twists. All like the only criticism I've heard of the game, and one that I kind of back up, but I understand why it's made this way, is that there's not really that many influence-heavy decisions that you make. You only make like one throughout the entire game, and that's deciding whether to side with Kyle or Cartman, basically. That's it.
And that leads to the same situation, doesn't it? Like,
yeah. And
it leads to the same place, no matter what you do, sort of thing.
So you know, while I know that that why that's how it is. Because it's a South Park thing, so it's going to have a set story that you can go to. It's not a true open world RPG, which is fair enough. That kind of I understand that. The rest of the game is good enough that I don't really mind that. There's lots of stuff to do. There's a shit ton of collectibles. There's stuff to do. The replay value is fucking astonishing in this game. Just like the amount you want to replay it just to see the other classes. So that's you quadruple your gameplay just for having 4 different classes. It's just so well done. All the quests are fun. You'll you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll grimace, you'll almost be sick.
Yep. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, and
you will enter buttholes, not just one, but many.
And they encourage you, and they actually encourage backtracking, but it's backtracking with a point as well, because you'll unlock different ways of getting around the environment throughout the game. So it encourages you to go back to areas that you'd previously visited to see if there's any way that you can, get around in a different way, because you'll gain new abilities, like new magics and stuff like that allow you to get to different areas of the map that you weren't able to get to before. Like when you complete the Underpants Gnome quest, you're able to shrink down to Underpants Gnome size. So it allows you to get into smaller spaces and like get to areas that you weren't able to get to before, which have other collectibles in, which is awesome. or which lead to other quests, because you can like get to see the crab people at one point as well. Crab people. But it's just an all-round good game. Like there's nothing really wrong that I can say about this game. It's really solidly built. It's fun. It's entertaining. It accomplishes exactly what it's supposed to do. I never encountered any bugs whatsoever. Like like no glitches, no bugs, nothing. I didn't encounter a single one, which is fairly impressive considering the amount of glitchy releases have been recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been a really good, solid game, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it personally.
It's what I think is what all games should be about, which is fun. Like, I think a lot of times, like, games just forget that. Like, the reason why people play video games is to have fun, or the only other thing you could have then is like an experience, you know, to learn, to be challenged.
Horrific experience in which you talk about the war you survived.
A mind fuck.
This war of mine.
But too many games now, like, they're like, oh, okay, well, they commit they call it the cardinal sin of video games. They're just not fun. They're just not fun at all.
You see a lot of those early access games on Steam that just are broken games masquerading as satire.
Yeah.
Like Grass Simulator or some other nonsense.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Rock Simulator.
Yeah, there's lots of those
Paint
about
Simulator.
recently. Everyone thinks they're really cool and hip and with it by making a crappy simulator. It's like, no, you're not making satire of the problem. Oh yeah, actually, I'm going to say this to everyone who's thinking to make that kind of game, right? You are not poking fun at the problem.
You're charging money for it.
You are not bringing awareness to the problem. You are the fucking problem.
Yeah,
okay. It is you that is encouraging this kind of shit to be made. Yeah, it might make for entertaining shit on YouTubers, but don't make YouTubers play this fucking shit. YouTubers don't want to play this shit and try and make it entertaining. They want to play decent games. They want to play games that they're going to find fun, not this bullshit. Because people are going to say, oh, play Grass Simulator, play Grass Simulator, play Grass Simulator. And they'll be sat there thinking, what? I've got to play this shit? I've got to make this shit fun? Fuck that. No,
I would say though that like some of this stuff is YouTube bait. Some of these games that are made.
I mean, I've watched Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie play the Grass Simulator, and God bless them, they tried their best to make it entertaining and make it fun, and the only way they could do it was making themselves look absolutely fucking ridiculous. And you know, we as the YouTube community shouldn't put that pressure on them to make them do that. Let them play what they fucking like.
But we shouldn't make them.
Yeah, let Jacksepticeye play Far Cry 4. Let him have fun with it, because it makes for a more entertaining video. You can tell when a YouTuber's playing a game they don't want to play or they find boring. And it's just like these kind of...
But does it say something more to people that like that? You know, there is a market for people that want to watch that garbage. That's the problem.
Then they should.
Like,
make
that's the reason why they make those
videos
is because people, for some reason, do like to watch people playing bad games. So it's just like
they don't like to watch it. They just like to troll YouTubers and make them play bullshit. Yeah. It's just like I wouldn't play it personally, even if I got a request for it. If I got a request to play a game that broken and that fucking stupid, I wouldn't play it. And I'd go on a vlog and go, I'm not going to play it. I had a look at it. It looks like absolute shit. I'm not going to have a good time playing it, which means my commentary and my video is therefore going to be shit. So I'm not going to play it.
Chris,
you go, what?
Play Grass Simulator.
Fuck you, Tom. Fuck you up your ass.
Well, I'm subbing if you don't play Grass Simulator. Yeah. Yeah.
Go on then, go for it. Bye. Have fun.
Yeah.
Threatening to unsub does absolutely nothing to me.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, but anyway, I digressed. I went on a little bit of a rant.
It's fine. It's what the paying audience is here
shit
for.
like that pisses me off. It's just like people who make these games thinking they're clever, being satirized. It's like, no, just don't make a game that's meant to take the piss. Do something constructive that's going to solve the problem.
It's not so much that, it's when they charge money for it, like £10 or £15.
I mean, if it was a free game, then yeah, fair enough. That's obviously taking the piss. But charging the money for it is just a slap in the face to the gaming community as a whole. It's just like, oh, play my shit game. Give me money for something that I haven't even bothered to fucking make entertaining. Give me money. In fact, that's what you're doing, people. When you pay for shit like Grass Simulator, you are paying to be trolled. You are paying for someone to take the piss out of you. Someone might as well take a shit in your face and then take your wallet. That is essentially what you're doing to yourselves.
A gigantic turd in your bank.
They actually do that kind of thing in Germany, don't they?
Well, yeah, they do, but that's something else.
That's not to do with,
People ask for that, though. People are doing this
in Germany,
unintentionally.
apparently.
It's like, I don't think people realise what they're doing. They're encouraging this kind of like shitty game development when there's free play games out there that are fucking amazing. I mean, I downloaded a game from Steam recently that was completely free called Haunted Memories. I'm going to do a let's play of that because I played 5 minutes of it and it is fucking awesome.
That's the one that we saw, isn't
Yeah.
it? What's the memories?
I don't know.
It looks absolutely stunning. It plays well. It's got a really interesting subject matter. I'm really looking forward to doing a let's play of it. And that was absolutely free, and yet some bullshit like Grass Simulator is like, it costs you money. I don't care how much it costs. Even if it costs 1 fucking penny, it's still bullshit that someone should have to pay for like purposefully unfinished broken games. It's a disgusting trend in gaming, and I don't like it right now. It's like in mobile gaming, the whole pay to play bullshit that's in mobile gaming at the moment, and that is now leaking over into console games, which is pissing me off.
Like what?
There have been a couple.
Dragon Age.
Yeah,
Dragon Age multiplayer, isn't
Dragon
it?
Age multiplayer has it.
Yeah.
You told me that the other day, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Mass Effect multiplayer has it. Pay to play.
Yeah.
And
Or pay to be good, I think it's probably
I
the
actually
best.
saw something on Facebook about people saying we should boycott Inquisition, and
well, no, just boycott the multiplayer.
that's what I plan to do. Because you talk about boycotting the game, but then a franchise that's really entertaining is going to be lost because of it.
Yeah.
I think
No, what
EA
I would say
rather
to people
they
that are
lost the
doing that-
franchise rather than another means of just squeezing money out of people.
What I would say to that then is don't boycott the game, just don't fucking buy the stuff on it.
Yeah.
They're doing it obviously. The reason why it's EA like doing that because they made loads of money off of FIFA Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
And they want a similar thing in all of their games, doesn't matter what it is, because it makes a lot of money, and that's essentially what they're doing now.
Yeah.
But that I think that's going into a can of worms that I don't think we have time for tonight.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, I know I've gone off on a little bit of a tangent, but fuck it, that shit angers me. Fucking,
So angry.
fucking, I've got rage mode now. I'm gonna have to go blow something up in Sunset Overdrive. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
release
that'll
stress.
calm you down.
The train.
I will be doing a review of that when I finish it as well, because it's just fucking insane and it needs to be talked about. Because it's so fucking good and it's so fucking insane and it's just fucking zeppelins, lasers, explosions, OD, energy drinks that mutate you. It's just fucking epic. It's such epic random shit. It's exactly the kind of game that I like, just random epic nonsense.
Hence why you reviewed South Park. this
Hence
week.
why I'm reviewing South Park this week, because it is a game that is just, I don't want to say it's a perfect game, but it's damn close to being a perfect example of
It's
how to do
fun.
a game well. It is fun.
I'm gonna say this categorically, right?
Yeah.
South Park is the best licensed video game in history. South Park Stick to Tree. That's
Yes.
my belief. Obviously, anyone's entitled to think otherwise. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're all different things. But that, in my opinion, I don't think there's ever been a licensed game done better than South Park Stick to Tree.
I will actually agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree that.
I would too.
Yeah. Like, there isn't anything that is as well built, well made, and well written as this that exists for TV or movie licensed games. Because it stays true to the source material while creating something new. It keeps the visual style of the source material to a T. There's tons of fan service. The combat mechanic works and is well thought out and is well built and is entertaining and keeps you engaged. The environments are well done, are very explorable as well. They even give you an excuse as to why you can't get out of the 2D plane and cross the road.
Yeah.
which is a really nice little touch. There's really good little touches everywhere. Just everything in it is damn spot on and is truly in keeping to South Park. If you love South Park and you like RPG games and you like games that are just fun and don't pull any punches with the humor, go for it and buy this game. You'll have a shit ton of fun with it, and I promise you you'll go back to it.
It will make you smile from start to finish. That's the most important
Yeah,
thing.
I mean-
That's at very least. What you normally get is you'll be smiling the whole way through, and then sometimes you'll be laughing your arse off. Like it's
Yeah, and there will be moments where you'll be like going, I don't know if I want to play this part of the game, where you have to give Randy an abortion.
Or the bit
yeah.
or the bit where there's an achievement for watching your parents have sex for a minute, and I'm an achievement hunter,
yeah.
so I did that shit. So
yeah.
Oh, I have to check this. I have to check
say,
this.
I kind of did that one as well. As like, I want the achievement, but I don't want the achievement. This makes me feel wrong. This feels icky. It's like as soon as that happens, you just want to like run around your room going, like a girl. It's just, it's, and like just the whole part on the alien spaceship where like, you know, with Randy, oh god, he gets anal raped. There's, the
when
whole...
we say raped, he doesn't seem to dislike it that much, really.
No. In fact, he seems to enjoy it. In fact, everyone treats like getting a... In fact, he treats like getting abducted by aliens as a fairly like standard thing that happens. It just...
Was it like they quoted it? Oh, it's just something you have to deal with living in a mountain town.
Yeah,
that sort of thing just happen.
It's just what, just the whole like, and I love how epic and huge they make like the boys like play thing. I just love how epic and huge they make it. Like it's some like god awfully huge thing that's happening when they're really just fucking around in their back gardens.
Yeah.
It just is so over the top and ridiculous because that's how kids of that age view their games when they're playing them. To them, it is as big as that. It is as real as that, and it's a great example of the imagination of children. Like the kids making up all this shit on their own, creating two factions. They've got their own bases. They've got their own they've got their own armorers. They've got their own castles. They've got their own
bars.
factions.
They've got their own bars that you can go to, don't they? That you have a fight in their bars, yeah.
And it's because that's the point of the South Park. It might be a bit offensive. It might take the piss, but every episode has a point. And
strangely, a very poignant point as well to it.
Yeah, it does. It like it's not just like, you know, boobs, tits, shit, and, you know, just crap for the sake and you know, offensive humor for the sake of offensive humor.
And Britney Spears going yeah.
Oh no, you just reminded me of a horrible bit. Oh shit, I'd actually block that out. Oh god. Oh, the snook, not the snook.
No.
Oh god. Fuck, I'd actually block that bit out, you son of a bitch. I brought it all back. Oh no, just everything. Why is that inside him? Why are all the things inside
why is
him?
there hundreds of like used
dildos? Mr. Hat.
Anal cavities.
Oh, yeah, why is Mr. Hat in Mr. Slave?
Yeah.
Why he's in there?
Why are all the things inside Mr. Slave? How does he fit them all up in there?
Well, Paris Hilton's up
because
there
he's a massive slut.
Oh my god!
Remember they had the the whore off and he won. So
yeah,
he
sorry,
did,
he's a dirty whore.
He consumed her with his anus. There's no other way to put it. He consumed.
We do ahead, Harry onward. Oh fuck it, moment's gone now.
With my little friend. It's like, oh god, I don't want it. No. Just let the snook blow up. I don't want to go any further in.
You actually have that option of walking out the room and the whole thing just explodes.
Yeah. Oh my god, fucking hell. Just, yeah, like, that's how much this game sticks in your head. There will be bits that you'll block out. Someone will remind you and you'll just have the same reaction and go, my mind, my brain, my poor brain. But, so yeah, this is an epic game. I had a shit ton of fun with it. Everyone that's played it has had a shit ton of fun with it. And I haven't heard a bad review of it ever, and I watch a lot of review stuff on YouTube, and even Angry Joe, someone who always manages to find something wrong with a game, didn't manage to find anything wrong with it at all, apart from the like you know, the lack of specific choices and the character customization being a little bit slow. And like,
yeah, but they're little gripes.
Yeah,
like when you know someone's pointing them out, it's like,
yeah,
oh well, fair enough. This game has no glaring weaknesses to it. So
it's like, it's real nitpicking. It's like finding something wrong for the sake of finding something wrong, which you know, you don't necessarily need to do, but it's just like you know, the game's brilliant, but it has a downside, but it's like a minuscule downside outweighed by the monument that is its awesomeness. Yeah. So yeah, this game is very much worth playing. It's I think, how much is it in Steam at the moment? I think it's expensive.
What, South Park? It was actually
Yeah.
on deal recently for like half price. You can pick it
Was
up
it?
really cheap. Yeah.
All right. So
I don't know if it's still on now, but like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
been out long enough now. You can probably get a good deal.
Because when it first came out, it was quite pricey. Like it was a AAA title game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When it first came out. But I can understand why it was, because there's obviously quite a lot of thought that went into it, and for me, it was actually worth the money it was when it was released, because it was worth it, because it was one of those games that had a lot of care and thought put into it, and well, it's actually $23.99 at the moment.
Yeah.
And
I imagine that's going to get cheaper with the Christmas sales. It
Yeah.
really will.
Well,
So-
it's on a deal at the moment, 40% off, £23.99. It is 40 quid standard, but I'd actually argue that it's worth the 40 quid.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. I've been burnt by, like, you know, Destiny really harmed me with buying full price games.
Oh yeah.
There's been 3 games that I've got. I mean, I got technically South Park second hand. I still got it cheap, but it was still expensive, you know, for a second hand game.
Yeah.
The last 3 games that I bought was South Park, which I agree with you all the time. Destiny, biggest failure ever,
Oh,
and then Dragon Age Inquisition. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's been okay with me.
And they've also got their DLC out as well. They've got a couple of DLC packs. The most expensive one is £2.39 as it's standard. They're both on offer now. One of them is 95p, the other one's like £1.43. It's like what was it? The first one is the Ultimate Fellowship pack, which gives you 4 outfits for like bonus damage and stuff. Like one's bonus damage, one's bonus weapon damage, one's like extra gold and stuff. So like for specific classes, which is really cool. It's like that one's £1.43 at the moment. It's like 4 extra suits. That's not too bad. It's like the cheaper one at the moment is you get the Super Samurai Spaceman pack, which is like 3 more costumes, including like a samurai outfit, a superhero costume, and a spaceman outfit, which all give you, you know, buffs and bonuses. So it's not the shitty Call of Duty camo packs that do absolutely nothing for you and are just like a real punch in the face, slap in the face, give us your money, you gullible twat thing.
We rail on COD so much, don't we?
We do. Well, that's because
But they do it to themselves.
Yeah.
They do it.
Yeah,
they
do
give
have
us the
it easy.
material for it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I mean,
Press
I do
F
find
to
those
pay
things a big
respects.
slap in the face. I mean, what you pay like, what? I think the most expensive one I saw was like 20 quid for like a few, like, it was like a bundle of like camo packs. It was like 20 quid. And I was like, okay, so do I get anything else? Do I just get camo packs? No, just camo packs. Different weapon skins. But do they do anything for me in game? Do they make my gun like kick less?
No, not really.
Like, it's like, no, nothing. Just give us your money, you gullible twat. Give us your money. Just give us your money,
There's
you
a
gullible
point in the
twat.
recent game as well. You know, you've got that armor that makes you like super strong, able to punch through walls.
Oh,
You still can't
yes.
compensate for recoil.
The physics breaking exo armor. Yeah, because fuck reality. Let's have exosuits and jetpacks and jet bikes and
This is
drones.
the fact you've also got some lass decked out in an exosuit fighting with some guy, and she's not doing well. Even though
Oh
they make
yeah,
it
I
out
saw
to,
that as well. It's like you're in a big super-powered exosuit. Why don't you
Well,
just
you
punch
take like
his
5
head
men
off?
coming at you all once, and she can't
That's
handle one dude.
Comic-Con madness and logic.
Yeah, it's really fucking funny, and well, yeah, I found that really funny. They were boosting it, like you get told actually not long before that scene how awesome these suits are, and how like you know, one guy in an exosuit can take out like 5 or 6 other dudes in close combat with no problem whatsoever, just because he's wearing an exosuit. And then she's getting her ass beat by like one dude. It's like, just punch his fucking head off. You have power armor. Punch his head off. What are you doing? You grab hold of his balls. You grab hold of his balls, push his balls up into his rib cage, grab his heart, and then fold him inside out. You have power armor. You can do this. It's just, but
No, you should be able to literally just do a Shadow of Mordor, grab someone by the throat, and then the throat explodes.
What lovely, Tom. I think these games are getting to you too much, man. Go play
I've actually-
Lollipop
I've actually-
Chainsaw. Just be
Since playing
happy,
these
man.
games, I've got a constant loop of Mad World playing around in my head. All around me are familiar.
It's
Being
alright.
killed.
You know you've hit true madness when you start hearing the Magic Roundabout theme tune over and over again. That's when you've hit true madness.
Twisted.
And you start gently rocking to yourself. That's when you know
That
you,
starts going mad.
that's when you need to commit yourself.
Shut up, Snail!
You're just
No
sitting
one
there thinking,
loves
okay,
you.
I need to go get
Go
in
on,
a padded
son
cell.
of
I need to go get in a padded cell and a straight jacket before I hurt someone. Wait, why am I
It's too
red?
late for that. It's too late.
The snail said he stole the sugar cubes. Ah! Bad Dougal, Dougal's bad.
Oh god, I've got to stop going mad. I do think that would be the most effective form of torture ever, would be to sit someone in a room and just play the Magic Roundabout theme tune with the opening of the Magic Roundabout turning over and over again on a constant loop. That would send anyone round the bend. They'd crack after about 20 minutes.
I'm pretty sure if you put in little bits of Freddy's laugh from Five Nights at Freddy's. Exactly that.
See, I never found that laugh scary. I thought it was funny. So
I think it's just literally when you're really tense, suddenly you hear that laugh, because then you just know something's about to happen, and it just makes you worse.
What the fuck?
Are we like really like diverting away from?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We have segued quite a bit. Yes, I have let this get away from me quite considerably because I started ranting. Shit!
That's what the people come here for. I'm
Podcast
sure.
host fail. My quiz is going to go well. Oh, yeah,
5 hours later, question 2.
Dude. When we finish arguing about the question and Morgan's finishing being butthurt about not getting asked questions. Sorry, Morgan.
Love you, Morgan.
Oh,
He's
see,
all
I'm-
about business. He's all about business.
See, I'm trying to come up
rules.
with like
Game
nicknames
rules.
for everyone to introduce to the quiz. I've got you guys sorted. It's just I can't think of anything for Morgan that doesn't include the word fairy.
Oh.
And I know that's really, really bad, but he sounds really effeminate when like when you hear him on Skype. He's like he comes like he always sounds more effeminate than he actually is. I don't mean it as an insult or anything. It's just like that's the first thing that pops into my
It's a
head.
statement.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's what other people on YouTube think. Back me up, YouTube.
Yeah.
Make me look bad. Make me look bad.
Don't make it look good, YouTube. We want to drop him in the shit.
Yeah.
Oh, drop me in the shit. I could run faster. I'm fine. I've got BB guns. I can defend myself. Flee from Morgan's wrath.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling when I get onto Guild Wars 2, he's just going to be hunting the shit out of me.
It's just gonna
Well,
be just Frosty
at least you
style.
can't attack each other in that game unless you're in PvP, so you should be alright.
He'll probably hack it.
He'll just probably give you some really bad advice and send you to areas that you're just completely underprepared
Yeah.
for.
Vengeance is mine. Oh.
Here, go to Fireheart Rise. Don't worry about the level 70s. They won't harm you. They're on your team.
Okay.
Thank you,
Oh, the
Morgan.
Dungeon of Ra, you have to do that solo. Go on. You go do that now.
Okay, Morgan. I trust you.
Alright,
And then 5 minutes later, you lied to me.
Who's a fairy now, bitch?
You got my spleen. Give it back. I need that. But anyway, South Park: The Stick of Truth, to get back on track.
Yeah.
We diverted quite a bit.
Speaking about rupturing spleens.
Yeah. Speaking of disgusting things happening to people, South Park: The Stick of Truth gets a massive pour of approval from all of us. A unanimous pour of approval.
I don't know, Hayley, do you give a pour of approval to the South Park Stick of Truth?
I haven't played it, and I don't like South Park.
So you probably won't enjoy it. So
Yeah.
Although saying that, I did when I was younger play the South Park racing game.
You've seen a few episodes of South Park and you've
Wow.
laughed.
Yeah, but not really. Yeah.
So you lied about your laughter.
Shut up, Tom.
You lied to me when you laughed. But yeah, well, obviously there are going to be some people that won't get on with this game, and you know, if you know South Park, well, everyone knows what South Park is kind of like. So if you don't like South Park, you know you're not going to enjoy this. But for those people who do like South Park, you will enjoy this game because
Yeah,
it's just all round
categorically.
fun. I was going to say it's family friendly. It's fun for all the family there, but most
That-
definitely not.
Definitely not. Yeah.
No. Mummy,
Yeah.
what's he doing? They're wrestling.
Why has that little boy put the tube on that man's balls?
Oh, Mummy, what's a ball bag?
God.
Go
Am
ask
I a
your father.
douchebag, Daddy? Yes, son.
These are questions that.
Daddy, I'm so douchebag now. What?
Or you just get the dad. Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah. Don't need to tell me, son. I've known it for years.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to call you as soon as you popped out.
Yeah. I shall name him douchebag. But anyway, yes. This podcast's been going for quite a while now. Let's check the timer, actually. Let's have a look. We won't go by the Skype call timer because we always natter a bit beforehand. So it's wrong. It lies. Going for 2 hours and 15 minutes thereabouts.
That's all right. That's okay.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not terrible.
I did a 2 hour, 20-minute wrestling podcast, and that went over fine.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny listening to you talk about wrestling because, especially when they have a week where they do something completely ridiculous and you spend like half an hour ranting about it. Fucking bunnies! Fucking bunnies!
we give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Oddly
So.
enough, that's what happened to Haley when she played Don't Starve. Bunny Men. Isn't that right, Bubs?
Oh, God.
Oh, did you get X'd by bunny men? Oh shit.
Yeah, it was really weird. I don't.
They suddenly looked at you and screamed out murderer and they tried to kill you.
What?
Yeah, hypocrites much.
Wow.
I think it's because she murdered bunnies up on the
I
surface.
didn't. That's the thing. I hadn't.
Were you
At that
wearing
point-
were you wearing a pair of earmuffs made from bunnies?
No.
Possibly.
Were you hoarding carrots? Were you hoarding carrots now, were you?
No, not even that. I'd killed a lot of beefalo and goats. That's it.
That might be one.
Some
She killed our
birds.
brethren. Murder.
But then, this is the thing. Once they'd killed me, they ate all my meat.
Oh, they ate. What did they eat you, or the meat you were carrying around?
And the meat I was carrying around, so I think
Alright.
that's what got them
They ate my meat.
aggravated.
Me.
That could be a very sexual. They came onto me and they ate
Especially a butt with a
Especially
bunny man.
bunnies.
Yeah.
my. Yeah. Oh, don't take me back to me ranting about bunnies again. I'd like my voice intact for the rest of the week. So
Well, yeah, but you went
Just-
off on one recently as well about how they brought it back.
yeah.
They've done it to you twice now.
Oh well.
Okay, so yes, that's the end of it. So yeah, we got a pour of approval for all three of our games, and Tony had fun weighing in, not having to do very much.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a week of rest after his week of wrestling.
I'm not even, like I said, I'm not even here. You know.
Ah.
It's just that I'm so ingrained into the podcast now that even when I'm not there, my voice is just there.
Wait, are you voices in our head then? Are you a voice in our heads?
Yeah.
A voice in the machine.
See, well, you see, right? Don't Starve has driven Haley mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? All these depressing games has driven Tom mad.
Yep.
So you
Mad world.
Call of Duty and games like that have driven Chris mad.
Yes.
So he's now hearing me in my voice, and because you're collectively mad, you're hearing me at the same time. And that also says that anyone
fascinating.
listening to this is insane.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
You're suddenly going to look up and realise you're in a padded cell with no laptop near you.
Yeah.
This podcast is all in your mind.
Wait a minute.
You'll exit that padded cell.
Oh,
with
you can't help
software.
that. Most everyone's mad here.
You'll live in a world where Sega won the console wars and they own everything. Yeah.
Oh damn, that would be a twist, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
Just like M. Night Shyamalan, just like,
No,
ha,
no,
gotcha.
that's the twist. M. Night Shyamalan is your doctor.
Oh wow, that would be the most epic twist in all of history. Just like M. Night Shyamalan flipping a ball close and go, gotcha.
I've got the name. I've got the name of the movie. It'd be Tony's Law. Tony's
You
Law.
realise I'm like, oh, does M. Night Shyamalan make movies anymore? He can't. After Earth, I haven't heard anything from him.
Where there's a twist to be had, he is there.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up.
Yes. Let us wrap up and let's do it. So yes.
Or are we? Because that could be a twist.
Twist. But twist by corn. Let's put twist by corn on the end of it. No, I can't
And then
do that.
literally at the end of the
That's
song, you hear M. Night Shyamalan going, "What a twist!"
yeah, what a twist. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to us ramble. I'm sorry this has been like a particularly ramble-induced one, but
It's what we do best.
yeah, we fucking fuck it. It's all good. But it's all in good fun. Thank you for listening to us ramble. If you've stuck around for our whole 2.5 hours. Good on you. Thanks for listening. I have a YouTube channel which is going to be posted on. Tony has one as well, which I will put a link to in the description, and it will also be posted in shared to his playlist that he's got on his channel with all the rest of our podcasts where we reviewed games. Go watch the quiz one. That's a lot of fun. Listen to Tom absolutely bust his shit because
It's hilarious.
because he starts to lose and he absolutely loses his shit, and it's funny as hell. And Morgan
Except-
gets butthurt.
No, I
and
don't
we
want to
get
spoil it. I
butthurt.
don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
but it's good. Go listen to that one. That one's a lot of fun.
And do you know what the real twist is? I won. No, I didn't.
Oh no. Yeah. Our next podcast will be something. I might end up doing my quiz if I can get all my questions sorted out and I can get the really diabolical bonus questions done. You won't get them. They're fucking diabolical.
Well, next week I will review another depressing game.
Oh, come on. Choose something happy. Choose something happy.
I make no promises. I am a depressing man.
Oh, yes he is. Tom's always
Mad
depressed.
world.
Tom and Hayley might be starting their own channel soon. If they start their own channel, I will put a link to their channel in the description below or on the screen. There'll be an annotation. Look for a pop-up thing. Look for it. It'll be there somewhere.
There's
I
a
think.
diddly-do somewhere.
Yeah. Look for the thing. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been Chris. That's been Tom. That's your cue,
Hello.
Tom.
Bye. Sorry.
God damn it, Tom.
I ruin everything I do.
That's been Hayley.
Hi, it's a goodbye.
Bye.
There we go. And that's been Tony.
Yeah. Goodbye.
See, Tony gets it right.
Hang on.
What?
Haley haven't said bye yet. Or were you getting there?
Hayley,
Yeah.
say bye-bye.
Goodbye.
There we go.
I was confused because
What?
you were talking and you were going to get there, Chris, but then Tom interrupted you,
Oh,
and then it
God help me
all
when I
just-
actually host something. I probably won't actually speak at all.
That's right. I did great that day. That craze night. that
Oh,
day.
shut up. Get away from me.
No.
just punch him in his nuts and I'm done with it. So, we'll see you in the next podcast, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.